Cy Young, Babe Ruth,
baseball,
Rogers Hornsby,
a rite of spring,
Lou Gehrig, Honus
a rite of
Wagner,
passage.
Ty Cobb, Roger Maris,
It holds the power of myth,
Casey Stengel,
the burden of legend,
Jackie Robinson,
the weight of history,
Sandy Koufax, Stan Musial, Joe DiMaggio,
the great names.
Willie Mays,
They were the heroes of the greatest game ever played.
Mickey Mantle, Whitey Ford,
But today begins a new chapter.
Joe DeRocha,
Who will be the legends of tomorrow?
Robinson,
The heroes we'll look up to.
Hank Aaron, Ted Williams, Don Bailey.
The Colorado Rockies. Baseball at a whole new level. For season tickets, call 303-ROCKIES.
The importance of this game for the Phillies cannot be understated.
No.
After the Rockies came in and took game one on their home turf. As Matsui stands in to get it started here today. Matsui yesterday a quiet day, 0 for 4 with a walk and a couple of strikeouts. Again at the top of the Rockies order.
Phillies are certainly under the microscope today. Kyle Kendrick's got to give them a good effort. The top of the order's got to rebound from a bad day yesterday and pick up a W for these guys. Most of the Phillies veterans have said, hey, it was only one game. We've been behind the 8-ball the whole last month of the season, and they're confident that they will bounce back today.
And so he finally digs his way in, ready to work here against Kyle Kendrick. And the first pitch of game two. This is outside for ball one. So Matsui, Tulowitzki, and Holiday here in the first inning for the Rockies. And Matsui slicing it foul to the screen.
Both of these pitchers today last pitched a week ago today, so they've had plenty of rest. Kendrick's last start came against the Braves. Back on the 27th, he beat them 6-4.
Amazing what necessity will bring at times. And of course, the Phillies were in that strapped spot when they brought up Kyle Kendrick from Double-A Reading. And boy, has he paid some pretty big dividends for them. Matsui down the line quickly, but he's out number one.
A good early sign for Kendrick to get the ground ball. Even when he gets in trouble, he's not a guy that can rely on strikeouts. He doesn't fan that many people. He just bears down. He's got a lot of poise. That's what they like most about him, is that he has not been awestruck by his surroundings.
Well, that's the one term that Charlie Manuel kept going back to, is poise, and he was amazed with the amount of poise that this young man has. As Troy Tulowitzki stands in and out after the first pitch, guys went out towards deep left center field. Aaron Rowan back at the wall. He leaps, and it kicks off the top of the walls. Tulowitzki is going to head for third base and get there, with the slide landing right up on top of the wall. And now they're going to call it gone. He looks back, and Tulowitzki will make his way in. Left field umpire Darrell Cousins went way out there to get a better look. And at first there was no reaction. But the late one, a good one for the Rockies as they strike first.
Very high pitch that Tulowitzki got on top of. Rowan made a great effort, and that ball did hit over the fence and hit on that back railing. Charlie Manuel wants a description from the left field umpire Ed Hickox.
Initially there was none, and Tulowitzki stopped at third base. But then he got further out there and then made the decision.
Well, it was the right call, and it looked like Ed had really hustled down the line to get near the wall to get a good perspective on it. He cleared that first railing and hit back behind the flowers and came back. Good call, the right call. 1-0.
of times you see the lines that will spray a little bit. That time some flower petals for proof. And it's the Rockies who score here in the first. And Holiday on the very next pitch sends one high and deep to left. Burrowed back, and this is a no-doubter. Back to back go the Rockies in the first inning, and their momentum continues to be incredible.
What an early message they are sending. Clint Hurdle had a great line today in our meeting with the manager. He said this whole past month we've been playing in the losers bracket. We have not had an opportunity to have a bad spell. So they're playing like that, like any one game might eliminate them. And they jump on Kendrick and the Phillies for back-to-back homers in the first.
We wonder how the poise will remain for Kendrick, a term we heard so much of. And we have this kind of start, back-to-back home runs after he recorded the first out. It's getting easier here dealing with Todd Helton. As Helton pops it up, foul ground, Carlos Ruiz. And there's 2 down.
16 home runs allowed by Kendrick in his 20 starts, but just a 3.87 ERA in those 20 starts. He pitched well for the Phillies, and he's now got to really bear down, much like Hamels had to do after the second inning yesterday.
Always around the strike zone. He walked only 11 batters in his last 12 starts. There's 2 outs in the inning, and here is Garrett Atkins. Atkins 1 for 4 in the action yesterday in game 1 of the series. He shoots one out towards left center. Rowan to come in on it now. And he makes the catch. It ends the inning, but a fast start for the Rockies today. Tulowitzki and Holiday go back-to-back, 2-0 Colorado.
And there you see yet another sellout here in this gorgeous place. You know, the Rockies kind of snuck up on everybody last year. Now their fans are expecting a little more out of them. They wound up in the playoffs, gave the Braves all they could handle in the division series. Rich Hunter to Eric Young. He hit him with a curveball in the first inning, and then he was stranded along with Walt Weiss. Rockies with a run in the second. The Phillies with 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, lead 6-1. There's a hard ground ball. It hit the mound, changed direction. Morandini got it. Nice play by Morandini as that ball kicked off the mound kind of crazily, and he stayed with it. 1 out.
Wow. The fact that the ball hits off the mound actually helps Morandini on this play. Kicks it back a little bit toward the second base side. He retreats and able to get to that ball. I don't think if that ball hits the mound, I think it's up the middle. We've seen a lot of wows the last couple days from the Phillies.
Some wacko stuff happened in this yard, I'll tell you. Here's Bichette. He was a key in the first inning by flying out to left with 2 on. A high pop-up behind the plate will go out of play. Bichette got to 3-0 in the first inning, and then finally wound up on a 3-1 pitch, hit a fly ball to left. And I think that helped Hunter take a deep breath, and he got out of that jam. And you might look back on that later as one of the key parts in the ballgame, should he go on and pitch well here. There's Dante Bichette at home, no surprise. He can't wait to get back here. Larry Walker waits on deck. Inside comes Rich Hunter. Bichette is hitting 5 out of his last 6 games at a .333 clip. Padres had 4 players hit over 30 home runs last year, Bichette being one of them. They call them the Blake Street Bombers because right outside of this ballpark is Blake Street. 21-year-old Rich Hunter, 1-1 on the year, making his 4th major league start. Bichette swings at a breaking ball and fouls it off over the Phillies dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hunter mixing them up with fastballs, curveballs, and changeups. And
looks like initially the game plan from Hunter is to throw the fastball on the inside part of the plate, trying to get these Rocky hitters to think quick on the inside and then use the changeup to get them out.
Comes inside again and misses. 3-2.
For a changeup to be effective, you normally would like to have the hitter out in front of it. So if you can make him conscious of the inside part of the plate and make him conscious of being quick, you can use that changeup away and have him lunging out on the front foot.
Appeared to get Galarraga on a changeup in the first inning with a couple men on. Hit that weak pop up to the right side. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jammed him and he fouls it. You have to give Hunter credit tonight, Teak, on one thing, and that is that he is pitching inside so much, because this place could scare you into wanting to pitch everybody away.
Yeah, it really can. And most of the hitters that hit in these parks, of course, know that most pitchers will try to pitch them away, so they crowd up a little bit closer on the plate. You see how close Bichette is there. He's trying to get out there where he can hit that outside pitch hard.
Hits it to right field. Whitten back, and he has room. Waits, puts it away. Mark Whitten a little happier now that it's dark, I think. He saw that ball easily. The first one went up into that twilight, and he had no clue.
There was a oops.
Here comes Larry Walker. There you see, it was very hard to see a couple innings ago. Now it's much darker overhead. There's some real dark clouds towards right field. As we look out over the Rocky Mountains there in the background. Walker grounded to Morandini his first time up. Larry Walker to right field and deep. Back goes Whitten. It's gone. Larry Walker almost sounded like he got jammed on that one and hits it out of the ballpark for Walker, his 6th of the year, and the Rocks get one back.
Well, there's a short area in this ballpark. It is right center field at 375. That is a normal dimension in a normal ballpark. Walker really doesn't hit this ball on the barrel of the bat all that well. He gets it down toward the handle a little bit, but he hits it right out at that 375 area. That's, if you're a left-handed hitter in particular, that's the area you want to hit it at, because that's just normal baseball dimensions. Usually in this park you try to add 20 feet anywhere, but they weren't able to put it out there. The bullpens are out there, and it just stays at a normal 375. So Larry Walker fights one over there for his 6th home run of the season.
And that is a short porch.
Yeah, you don't think of 375 as a short porch, but it is here.
Galarraga takes a strike called. 1 ball and 1 strike on Andres, who popped up foul his first time up. Larry Walker hit a home run against the Phillies in the first inning of the first ball game this year off Sid Fernandez. Comes inside to Galarraga, who gets hit by pitches quite a bit because of that stance of his and the way he goes into balls. Galarraga has been hit by pitches twice this year. 81 times in his career, still behind Don Baylor by a little. 267, Don Baylor, the human dartboard when he played. Don Baylor by far and away the all-time leader in being hit by pitches. There he is. Of course, with that body, he probably didn't feel it that often.
Yeah, he didn't feel him very often. Baylor used to stand right up on top of the plate and just challenge you to pitch him inside.
And inside with a fastball, and Galarraga walks. Yeah, and Galarraga, as Galarraga walks, the way they used to play the game, he got hit all those times and probably never charged the mound once.
No, he didn't. Well, I mean, he knew that he was standing up on top of the plate. He knew that he wasn't going to give ground, and he knew that it didn't hurt him when it hit him, so why get upset? It's the way to get on base. Pete Rose a lot along the same lines. He used to get hit. In fact, I hit Pete Rose one day, and Pete Rose, as he's going to first base, looked at me and said, "Thank you." Went to first. So I asked him the next day, I said, "What do you mean, thank you?" He says, well, it was 2 strikes, and you hit me, and I got on.
Right.
That's what I want to do.
See the managerial records of those 2 guys, and Don Baylor was most valuable player in the American League for Jim Fergosi's Angels in 1979. That ball bounces up there. So Jim Fergosi and Don Baylor go back a long way. Here is Ellis Burks, who tripled to right and scored in the 2nd inning. That was the ball that Whitten lost. That walk by Rich Hunter coming into the game, Phillies pitchers had not walked a batter in 25 1/3 innings. So that's the first walk in a long time for Phillies pitching. coming inside. You got to give him credit. I mean, those aren't strikes necessarily, but he's trying to get them off the plate a little bit.
And you can tell by the reaction of the Rocky hitters, the way they're jumping away from those pitches that are not strikes, but they're close to the strike zone. That, you know, they're leaning out over the plate. They want to go out and reach out and hook that outside pitch.
There's Jim Wright, who is the pitching coach now, as Johnny Padres is rehabilitating at home, trying to get feeling a little bit better. I talked to his wife Joni today. Pods was out taking his walk when I called. I wanted to give Pods a bus time because he calls me every day for the bus time.
Just in case he was interested, huh?
Just in case he wanted to show up. But she said he's feeling better.
Was he walking west? I mean, he might have been on his way.
She said he was out doing a power walk. This is hard to believe with Johnny. But he's feeling a lot better, and we hope to get him back soon. There goes the base runner, swinging a ground ball past Zeal. Stocker with a long throw, and he won't get him. Bounces away from Jordan, and that will allow Galarraga to go to third. So that will probably be Kevin Stocker's first error of the year, to allow the runner to go to third. That'll be a base hit for Ellis Burks, and an error on Stocker because the runner had stopped at second.
Stocker really extending himself, not able to get his feet underneath him, jumps and throws the ball to first base. Actually, a little bit of the inexperience at first base of Kevin Jordan showing right there. He did not have a play at first anyway on Burks, who runs pretty well. Jordan probably should have just come off the bag and taken the throw, but he tried to stretch and make a swipe catch on it and had the ball bounce away from him.
And that will bring up Vinny Castilla, sacrifice fly, run batted in. So 2 outs, nobody on base, home run, walk, infield single, and the Rockies are still in business. 6-2 Phillies, and that will be an error on Stocker, his first of the season. Outside, he told Todd Callis prior to the game that he was very happy with his defense, but he didn't expect to go the whole year without an error. And as you said, that's a play where Jordan could have helped him.
Could have helped him, or, you know, if Stocker, you know, he didn't really have to make that throw either, having to go that far in the hole, knowing that Burks can get down the line. So probably a mistake made on both ends. Stocker for throwing it and Jordan for not coming off the bag to catch it.
Strike called. Phillies now with 2 errors in the game. Coming into the game is a very good defensive team, leading the league with a .988 fielding percentage. 1 ball and 1 strike on Vinny Castilla, who steps out and asks for time. Galarraga at third and Burks at first with 2 outs. Fastball, base hit right field, scoring Galarraga. Burks stops at second. 6-3 Phillies as the Rockies have another run. Vinny Castilla knocks in his 14th of the year. And Jim Wright will come to the mound now to have a word with Hunter.
Mickey Morandini is shading Castilla up the middle, figuring Castilla going to try the pull the ball. Not able to get to that hard ground ball into right field. Jim Wright, Benito Santiago with Hunter, and just try to keep the young guy calm and under control at this point. Now, this is not your normal park.
No. And the Phillies will be back at their normal park when they have a nice long homestand at the Vet Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The Astros come in. Boy, are they hitting the ball right now. A lot of good players on that club. And then those Atlanta Braves, the world champions, for the weekend. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the 13th, 14th, and 15th, with the San Francisco Giants. 463-1000 for your tickets. Jim Wright back in the dugout. And Rich Hunter facing Jeff Reed, who singled to center his first time up. Lance Painter, the pitcher, due to bat next. There's a changeup over for a strike. And Painter is in the on-deck circle. Don Baylor is short an extra man tonight because Jason Bates is in the hospital. There's Painter as they're treating a leg infection with him. And he's not on the disabled list, so he loses a man for this game. Next pitch to Reed is over for a strike. Painter's a guy who was the last out in a playoff game last year against Atlanta. He struck out against Mark Wohlers when Don Baylor ran out of players.
Yeah, and I guess he was the odd man out. He was drawing the short straw to have to hit against Wohlers the way he was throwing that night. He was blowing.
Yeah, that was a mismatch. No balls and 2 strikes now on Reed. And the pitch to him is low. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Hard ground ball. He can't get it. It's into right field. Whitten is going to come up firing, and the throw is high and over everybody. 1 run scored, and into second base now goes Reed, and it's 6-4 on an RBI hit by Jeff Reed. And runners wind up at second and third on the play.
Last 2 hitters, Hunter's been able to get the ball on the ground is where he wants it. Your percentages are much better. Mark Whitten up with a strong throw, but well over Santiago's head. You see there Hunter late getting back to backup home plate. The reason being it was a ground ball through the right side. Hunter's first responsibility is to go over and cover first base on that play. So he had started toward first base and they had the long trip to go to get back behind home plate. Wasn't able to get there in time for the overthrow by Whitten. That allows Reed to move up from first to second, and you have to credit Mark Whitten with another error. So that's the Phillies' 3rd error of the evening. See Toby Borland starting to throw in the Phillies bullpen.
Second error of the inning, as Teague says, 3rd of the game. So the tying run is at second base now, as the Rockies have scored 3 in this inning, and it's 6-4. Welcome to Denver. Changeup misses low. Appeal to third, and Harry Wendelstedt says no swing. Here's Lance Painter, 0 for 2 on the year, a lifetime 175 hitter with no homers and 3 runs batted in. So Painter bats here and will continue to pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Castilla at third. Reed at second. Pitch to Painter is a strike 2 called. 1-2. 6-5-3 Phillies. 4-7-0 Rockies. We're only in the 3rd. Little looper in the center field. Dykstra can't get it. It's a tie ball game. Lance Painter bloops one into center field, and the Rockies have tied this one up with a 5 spot here in the 3rd inning.
How quickly things can change here at Coors Field. When the inning starts, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. The Phillies up by a score of 6-1, but all of a sudden everything turns around. Now Lance Painter, just a little lob shot. You see him there just flip his bat at the ball, but if you get your bat on the ball, you got a chance to make something happen. Drops it in front of Lenny, and with 2 outs and the runners running, Lenny doesn't have any play except to return it to second. So all of a sudden that 6-1 lead is evaporated. Now it's 6-6.
Start all over again, all with 2 outs. 2 outs and nobody on base, and 5 runs in the inning now for the Rockies.
Hey, all you hard-driving, power-tie, power-lunch business persons, chill out. Warm up with the second of 5 Mellon PSFS business person specials. Wednesday, May 15th, when the Phillies play the Giants at 1:05. Call 463-1000 in your power voice.
Well, between innings, a ground crew is out there in the outfield here at Coors Field picking up debris, as it is incredibly windy here today, and the papers are blowing all over the place, so they have to send somebody out there to police the area between innings. Bottom of the 1st inning coming up, and here's the way the Colorado Rockies will bat. Walt Weiss at shortstop, Eric Young the second baseman, Dante Bichette in right field, Larry Walker the center fielder, Andres Galarraga at first base, Ellis Burks in left, Vinny Castilla the third baseman, Jay Hawk Owens behind the plate, and the young right-hander Mark Thompson on the mound.
And for the Phillies, 33-year-old left-hander Sid Fernandez on the mound this afternoon. He's making his 5th start of the year. His last start was spectacular. He struck out 11 Cardinal batters and walked only 1. He pitched 8 shutout innings, but received a no decision because he was the recipient of that second 1-0 loss that the Phillies took at the hand of the St. Louis Cardinals when they scored the lone run in the 9th inning. Sid has not pitched here at Coors Field. He's pitched at Mile High Stadium, but has not pitched here at Coors Field. Did not pitch here last year.
Well, it's only a couple miles away.
Yeah, the altitude's the same. Defensively for the Phillies, Kevin Jordan at first, Mickey Morandini at second, Kevin Stockers the shortstop, Todd Zeal at third, Incaviglia in left, Dykstra in center, Witten in right, and Benito Santiago behind the plate.
And Teak mentioned the altitude. We are in the town called the Mile High City because we are 5,280 feet above sea level. And I think back at St. Anastasia's they said that's a mile. So here's Walt Weiss.
You remember that, huh?
Yeah. Well, if I can connect it with baseball, I had a chance. Sid Fernandez's first pitch on the way to Weiss, and it's over for a strike. Walt batting .250 right-handed, .359 from the left side. And on a 6-game hitting streak, he has been hot, batting .435 during that streak. Sid's pitch is fouled out of play. Sid comes into the game with a 10th best ERA in the league, .292. And opponents are batting just .176 off Fernandez, which is good for second best in the league. And there you see Walt Weiss's numbers against Sid Fernandez, or against the Phillies. Weiss was an 8-hole hitter for the most part last year. He's done such a good job leading off that they're going to keep him there. And this pitch misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Walt Weiss. Sid Fernandez is 33 years of age from Honolulu, Hawaii. He's 6'1" and 230 pounds. And has pitched real well. Only 1 bad game this year. That was the game that he gave up the 5-run lead in St. Louis. As Teak mentioned last time out, he was overpowering with 11 strikeouts. 1-2 to Weiss leading off for the Rockies. A curveball lofted into center field. It has some hang time for Dykstra, and Lenny puts it away, and that's the first out. Teak, you mentioned how deep they play. I guess you get a little hang time on a ball, then maybe they'll have a chance.
Yeah, the ball has to have a little hump in it, though, before you have a chance. And normally, routine line drives are just going to sink before the outfielders can get to them. That one had a hump in it, and Lenny was able, even though he was shading over toward right center field, to come over and make the play. You see there the dimensions here at Coors Field. That's why the outfielders have to play so deep. Very much larger than your normal average ballpark you're used to seeing. So a lot of area out there for the outfielders to cover.
Yeah, for example, down the lines at the Vet 330, and that's very fair. You saw the difference here. You'd look at those dimensions and think, wow, what a great pitcher's park this has to be.
Yeah, such a big place.
Wrong.
The altitude makes it small real quick.
Real quick. We had a wild one here last night. The wind is, we mentioned, blowing very hard. It appeared in batting practice as if it were helping the ball towards right and right center. We'll see as the game progresses. 1 ball and no strikes to Eric Young. Way inside, 2-0. Eric just off the disabled list. This is the 4th game he's appeared in. He had hit in 3 straight.
Defensively in the outfield, the Phillies were swung way around toward right center field. Now all of a sudden, with Sid falling behind in the count, straightening up a little bit, Dykstra was well over into right center. He's back to shading just a little bit to left center. Incaviglia was way over in left center, so they've shifted completely the defense with the 2-ball, no strike count.
Up high, Eric Young was the hitter at home plate last night that Ricky Batalico retired in the 9th inning, in case you went to sleep on us. With 2 men on base, it went right down to the wire, and the Phillies won that game 10-8 in a wild one. 3-0 to Eric Young, taking all the way. Ball 4, he walked him. So Sid Fernandez, who walked 1 batter in 8 innings last week, walks 1 here in the 1st inning. That'll bring up Dante Bichette, a .429 batter here at friendly Coors Field, a place he just loves to hit it. There's Dante, who came over in the expansion draft from the Milwaukee Brewers. Has had a couple tremendous years here. Runner-up for the most valuable player last year in the National League. And up among the league leaders in RBIs with those 19. Bichette is a first ball hitter. And Incaviglia could not get much deeper and left. And he takes the first pitch all the way over for a strike from Sid. This is Sid Fernandez's 300th career game. Not his 300th career start, but his 300th career game. And there is Incaviglia, very deep in left field. Time is called, and the debris is piling up out there in left center that they'll have to go out there and get rid of between innings. There's the, looks like we're at Candlestick today.
Looks like the swirl is ending right out there in left center field.
There's the weather forecast, or the present conditions. 20 to 25, but there are higher gusts. Outside 1-1. It'll be interesting to see how Sid works his curveball today, Teak, because we mentioned last night how hard it is to throw a curveball in this altitude. There are Bichette's numbers against Sid.
Sid's had a whole lot of success. Wind a factor, and the fact that you're at altitude, so the lighter air, much more difficult to make the curveball break.
There goes the runner, Young. Santiago, a bullet to second, but it was wide, and Eric Young steals the base. Benito's throw was a little bit to the shortstop side of second base, and Morandini couldn't get the tag down on Eric Young.
Yeah, it was going to take a perfect throw. Young got a pretty good jump at first base on Fernandez. See right here, he fades away and slides to the right field side. Morandini tags him in the rear end right after he gets his foot on the bag.
Eric
Santiago got rid of it quickly, but just a little bit to the third base side, trying to make up for the good jump that Young got.
And Eric Young gives them speed. He had 35 stolen bases last year, 42 for them in their inaugural season of 1993. Now we're going to see a lot of this today. Hitters being distracted by the wrappers. Be nice if the fans had just
crumple them up and throw them under the seat.
Yeah, have a tube steak and then just put the thing in their pocket. You know. Two balls and one strike. Swing and a miss by Bichette at a high fastball, and that's where Sid Fernandez lives, up in that strike zone.
Certain players hit well in certain ballparks. Tony Gwynn, he hits well everywhere, but this ballpark right here is just made for Dante Bichette. 429 is hitting here.
And look at Ellis Burks, his teammate, right there in fifth place. Long look to second. There goes Young. Way outside. No chance for Santiago, who throws it away. And a cheap run right there for the Colorado Rockies. Eric Young, a walk, 2 stolen bases, an error on Santiago, and it's 1-0.
Talk about not having to do anything on your own to score a run. The Colorado Rockies and Don Baylor get the first one that way. The walk, 2 stolen bases, and now the error on Santiago. He tries to throw this ball around Bichette. Young with a good jump again. Fernandez not paying much attention to him. Santiago tried to throw that ball around Bichette and threw it well wide of third base. Todd Zeile made an effort to try to knock it down, but had no chance.
Yeah, that's a ball that Benny should have just held on to. Here's the next pitch to Bichette, and he loops one into shallow center. Going back is Stocker, and there it drops for a base hit. Bichette a big turn, but he'll stay there. So there will be all kinds of adventures here today on balls hit in the air, even more so than normal. Sid made a good pitch on him.
Again, we talk about the fact that they've jammed him very well. We talk about how far the outfielders are back. This is a ball normally you have a conversation between the shortstop and the center fielder. Who's going to take it? Lenny not even close to that play yet because he has to play so deep. There's a giant void out in the outfield to drop base hits in this ballpark.
There's Eric Young, who gives the Rockies some speed now that he's back. Those were the first 2 bases he's stolen. I mentioned he has stolen quite a few bases since he's been here with Colorado.
The big bats of Dante Bichette and the Colorado Rockies are back. Call 1-800-388-ROCK to see them in action.
We're back with you on Thursday night. There you see the first pitch for the pregame. It's our Phillies first pitch pregame show starting at 7. Game time is 7:30. These Philadelphia Phillies and the Colorado Rockies do battle again on Thursday night. 3-game series with the Phils and the Rocks. Off day tomorrow.
Mike Swanson just stopped in here, Todd, as we look at the score of the ballgame heading to the top of the 8th. He's a public relations director for the Rockies and says this is the largest road crowd the Rockies ever played in front of. This, the largest road crowd prior to that had been here at the Vet last year.
How about that?
Now, it's not the largest crowd they've ever played before because they can really pack them in at Mile High. They can draw over 70 in that place.
Here's John Vanderwell. He'll pinch hit for Bruce Ruffin. Thursday's game pitchers, by the way, are scheduled to be David Need and Kurt Schilling, as Vanderwall pinch hits for Bruce Ruffin. Called strike, 0-1. Vanderwall picked up late in the spring, right before the season started, by the Colorado Rockies from the Montreal Expos, for a player to be named later. Here's the 0-1 pitch, outside for a ball. 1-1. Actually, it was Vanderwall and a player to be named later in exchange for cash considerations from the Rockies to the Expos. Last day of March, that transaction. Vanderwall, good pinch hitter, also plays first base and outfield. The 1-1 pitch is hit in the air, a semi-line drive. Mariano Duncan makes a nice short hop play, and there's one away. Willie Blair had been throwing last inning. Now the Rockies have a left-hander up in the bullpen. Here you take a look at that last play.
Hits it off the end of the bat a little bit, and as a result, it's got some topspin on it. It's on its way down right away, and Duncan has to play that little in-between hop and then throw out the pinch hitter Vanderwall, who was pretty tough out too. He hit a double off the wall at Colorado last week.
Here's Walt Weiss, a switch hitter. He is 1 for 4. He squares to bunt, takes it on the outside corner. 0-1. Roger Mason, in his first full inning of work, got out of a bases loaded 2-out situation in the 7th. The pitch is a called strike. 0-2, and there is the Rockies' next pitcher, Mike Munoz, who's loosening up, getting ready to work the 8th. We're in the top half of the 8th. Phillies lead the Rockies 7-6. 0-2 pitch, fastball drilled down the right field line, foul as it hooks into the crowd. Nice catch by the left-hander out there in the right field corner. And high fives all around on this home opener.
Guy brought his picker, and he's glad he did.
A replay of a fan's catch. How about that? That was a nice snag, leaping towards his right.
Right now somebody said, honey, that's you.
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Good breaking ball. That's 2 strikeouts for Mason. 2 away quickly here in the 8th, and I'll bring up Joe Girardi.
You know, the master plan probably is for Mason to get through this inning and then use Jones in the 9th. So we'll see. This is a breaking ball from Roger Mason. Took a lot off this one. Oh, that might have been his fork ball. That thing really went down.
Here's Joe Girardi. This is low for a ball, 1-0.
He's been on 3 times, as usual. Only time they got him out today was when he sacrificed.
That's right. He's 1 for 3. But he's reached base 3 times, twice on errors. One by Kevin Stocker that led to a run. Once by Dave Hollins that led to a run. Girardi, one of the few catchers that bats in the number 2 position in the lineup.
Over the years, Mike Scioscia did it. Tim McCarver did it. John Stearns was normally a catcher who could handle the bat pretty well and even run a little bit in the case of, say, a McCarver or Stearns, not necessarily Girardi or Scioscia.
Things got so bad for the Mets and Dallas Green last year, he tried Charlie O'Brien.
Remember that.
In the number 2 spot.
Against left-handers.
3-0 pitches right down the middle. It's 3-1.
Yeah, and Charlie O'Brien can barely hit 8th.
And doesn't run.
Yeah.
3-1 the count to Joe Girardi. Here's the pitch. Guess who's on base again?
It's unbelievable, I'm telling you. The guy is always on base against the Phillies in all different ways, as he's shown again today.
He has 1 hit. He's been on base 4 times. By the way, we talked a little bit earlier about Tommy Green. He's going to miss his 1 turn in the rotation, I guess, right? And the Phillies.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what they had done. They had scratched him from Wednesday as we look at the bullpen, nobody up, and then they had penciled him in for Friday. So we'll see.
And really, with the off day, nobody goes on short notice anyhow, since tomorrow is an off day. Here's Dante Bichette. 2 doubles today. He had 43 of them last year. Up high for a ball, 1-0.
Phillies outfielders are all very, very deep right now. Plus Hollins is guarding the line. You want to prevent against any kind of extra base hit. See how deep the outfielders are, and Hollins guarding the line at 3rd.
They are very deep. Bichette can hit the ball a long way. Roger Mason trying to prevent that. There's a swing and a miss.
Yeah, he wouldn't swing and single there. That was a fire the hip out, try and hit it out of a ballpark swing by Dante Bichette, who can do that.
Looking to give his team the lead. Right now the Rockies trail 7-6. We're in the top half of the 8th inning. Joe Girardi on first base. There he is with 2 away. One misses inside. It's 2-1.
He wants to stay away from there. You don't want to come middle into Dante Bichette in this situation. Even though he hits a lot of balls the other way, he might be looking to turn on one right now.
Bichette had big numbers last year. 310, 21 homers, 89 RBIs, 93 runs scored. 2-1 pitch to him. There's a long drive to left field, and the Rockies have the lead. 8-7 Rockies on a 2-run home run by Dante Bichette, and that's exactly what you just said.
Well, it was tough to tell from the home plate angle where that was, but I think it was middle in, and that's where we just talked about it. You want to stay away from in that spot to a guy like him.
The applause you hear is because the fans here in Philadelphia trying to mimic the Cubs fans by throwing the baseball back.
Yep. Dalton slides in and the pitch does not get far enough in, and see, he was looking to pull one.
Talked about his swing the last pitch. That was almost a repeat, except for this time he connected. Dante Bichette's off to a great start this year. Here's another guy off to a great start, Andres Galarraga. Bichette now has 11 RBIs, which leads the National League. Second is the guy at the plate with 10 RBIs. Both are hitting around the 500 mark. Galarraga is actually at 423 now, but Bichette with a 3-for-5 day, coming in batting .476. So he'll go above the 500 mark. What a start.
The series will head to Denver, Colorado for Game 3 on Saturday. Jason Hamill pitches for Colorado. No pitcher announced yet for Charlie Manuel. Depends on how he gets through this game and what kind of relievers he needs. So, it's supposed to be cold in Denver this weekend.
It's only 35 degrees there right now. Saw Utley freeze on that called third strike. You just saw Todd Helton check his swing. I'm not sure these guys are getting a real good look. But what a sinker there from Cook for the strikeout. Great movement. The shadow really a problem for the hitters. Got a bright batter's eye in the backdrop, and the ball changing colors about 3 times on the way to the plate.
Hamels falling behind Todd Helton, who leads off this 4th inning. Both Hamels and Cook with 4 strikeouts. Helton with the RBI, the fielder's choice back in the 1st inning. Had a little dribbler just in front of the home plate area. Allowed Gonzalez to score from 3rd. Hamilton was at the plate when Gonzalez was thrown out at second base trying to steal. The 2-2. Count stays at 2-2.
As he gets a new piece of lumber. He had a triple here, his first ever at bat in the postseason 2 years ago.
Helton had a big comeback season in 2009. He finished 4th in the National League in hitting. He hit .325 this year. 15 home runs. Had 86 driven in. On base a lot. He was 3rd in the league in on base percentage. .416 was his number this season after off-season back surgery. And he hammers out into center field, a base hit. Now, between innings, we had a chance to catch up with Philly hitting coach Milt Thompson, and we talked about the approach against Aaron Cook.
Well, Bob's giving him that low strike, and I told the guys to make him bring the ball up, and he's getting that pitch, but we still have to make him bring the ball up so we can hit some line drives.
Milt, this is Joe, and I was just curious about Ryan Howard. I know that this team does not employ a shift against him. He seems to be willing to take the ball the other way if they're going to work him away.
That's what Ryan has to do. His strength is hitting the ball the other way. when he's got that got it going where he can hit the ball out of the ballpark any place, it's a great thing.
How much hitting do you get into with your manager, a great hitting coach in his own right?
Oh, we talk hitting every day. Every day at home we have extra hitting. First day in on the road, we do a lot of hitting. We talk a lot of hitting.
And how's that pitching arm holding up after all that BP this year?
Well, I don't throw a lot of BP. Just in the cage, I try to throw a little bit. I'm not a very good pitcher. I was an outfielder.
That's a good collaboration, though, when he and Charlie Manuel can work with the hitters and talk hitting with their guys. As Charlie says, when he was the hitting coach in Cleveland, he wanted his hitters to be the best going. He wanted everybody to hit 300, wanted everybody to be successful, and would work as long and hard as it took for everybody to be good.
Well, Charlie's playing days in Japan kind of affected how he coaches hitting and thinks about hitting, because he hit a lot in Japan. He said it was not unfamiliar to go an hour, maybe an hour and a half of straight batting practice, and you just hit and hit and hit, which means somebody has to throw and throw and
That's
throw.
right.
And Milt Thompson has that duty during the game and to get his pinch hitters ready and what have you. Charlie believes in the numbers. He said, just like a marathon runner, you get a second wind at some point. As Tulowitzki pops it up, Chase Utley will make the catch for out number 1.
Todd Helton had a good at bat against Hamels leading off this inning, Brian, and again it goes back to something that Jim Tracy said. He needed his hitters to be a little more patient, work the count a little more. He hasn't thrown an exorbitant number of pitchers, 52, but at least the guys that are going to deep counts are getting a good look at him and seem to be putting good swings on him.
Well, here's Garrett Atkins. Atkins back in the starting lineup. It's 78 games at third base this year. He has been the anchor at third base for the Rockies the last few seasons. Big run producer. But Ian Stewart took over that job this season. Ian Stewart has not appeared in this series yet. A talented young left-handed hitter and a defensive specialist. Phillies sending out the 2 left-handed starters, and Lee and Hamels kind of taking away Jim Tracy's power from the left side a little bit.
And there's a chance that Jay Happ will pitch game 3. Another lefty.
Well, there is a little history between these two. Back in April, Hamels giving up the home run to Garrett Atkins. Atkins hit just 9 home runs this year. Drove in 48 after 2 seasons of over 100 RBIs. Just got a piece of that one.
Yeah, again, that was back on April 10th. That seems like well over a year ago. First start of the year for Cole. 3 2/3 innings, 11 hits, 7 runs.
Ball and 2 strikes on Garrett Atkins. Got Helton at first. Just got a piece of another one.
Another good at bat.
Pitch count at 57. The Rockies doing a much better job today against Hamels than they did yesterday against Lee. Lee went the distance with 113 pitches. Hamels at 57 through 3 1/3. And he strikes out Garrett Atkins. Change the string on him.
Beauty.
Second out of the inning, the 5th strikeout for Cole Hamels.
One of the questions that went unanswered yesterday for Jim Tracy was, what will Charlie Manuel do if he has to go to his bullpen? Cliff Lee took care of that with a 9-inning complete game effort. And the Rockies are certainly hoping that they can get to Hamels enough to get him out of the game and get into that Phillies bullpen that's been in disarray for most of the season.
Two outs for Yorvi Torrealba. Helton a leadoff single, still at first as Torrealba takes a strike.
So a few more curveballs today.
Fastball just missed.
Yeah, and it's not like he can't throw hard. That was 91. Just missed off the corner. You've got to respect it. And when he's establishing his fastball on the corners like he did early, you don't have the luxury of guessing much.
That one's hit well. Deep left field. Torrealba will watch this one fly out of here. Yorvi Torrealba with a 2-run home run. And the Rockies have a 3-0 lead in the 4th inning. A rocket from Torrealba.
No doubt about that one, Brian. That looked like something up. Yep, the curveball. I just said he had thrown more today. A little unusual for him, and then he hangs one. And Torrealba didn't miss it.
Yorvi Torrealba hit just 2 home runs during the regular year. But a 2-run shot here in the 4th inning. And the Rockies have a 3-0 lead on Hamels and the Phillies. Well, he has been a hot hitter in the final month of the season. Just his 2nd career postseason clout.
He had a good postseason for them in 07, though. He was one of their stars that helped get them to the World Series.
Well, here we go to the lucky 13th. Tied at 2-2. Roger Mason will pitch his 3rd inning. And Eric Young gets his first at bat. He came in to replace Galarraga in the lineup in the 10th inning. Andres tonight was 3 for 5, and he hit them all hard. Well, one time he had one fist hit. And Young takes a strike call. It's the longest game in Rockies history.
Yes, it is. The previous was 12 innings, and obviously we're surpassing that right now with that pitch.
But we know it's not the longest game of the year for the Phillies.
No, we don't want to break that one.
That was 20 big ones.
Yeah, we don't even want to come close to that one.
And the pitch to Young is outside.
Where's that Bigfoot blimp when you need it?
That 20-inning game was on July the 7th, 6 hours and 10 minutes.
Oh, that was a blessing.
7-6. Swing and a miss. Roger Mason gets Eric Young to chase a high fastball. For Roger, his 3rd strikeout. 1 out here in the 13th.
Young, a low ball hitter, goes after a pitch that's up in the letters, really probably out of the strike zone. You can tell sometimes when you play 13 innings, you have a tendency to do things maybe that you wouldn't do in a normal 9-inning game. That really isn't a pitch you should be swinging at.
Sometimes, guys, everybody tries to end it.
That's true. They all want to be the hero themselves because everybody knows that everybody's tired. So.
Dante Bichette, the batter, and he can end it. Deep to center field. Back goes Dykstra. It's out of here. Home run, Dante Bichette. He crushed it to right center, and the Rockies lead it 3-2 on his 19th home run of the year.
Well, first we looked at Lenny Dykstra in center field. Lenny went back towards the fence like he had a play, and after about 6 steps, he just slowed up. Started to watch it. You can see the pitch up in the strike zone, down the center. And Bichette, who has home run power to all field, you can see Dykstra going back in about the 7th step. He decided, I don't have a play on this one.
Trouble. So the Rockies hit another home run, their 2nd of the game, and now lead it in the top of the 13th inning. And they're getting Darren Holmes up, a guy who's been closing games effectively for them, right-hander.
Ceramic Turbo. 性能は本能だ。セラミックレスポンス。ニュー日産フェアレディ Z。
And go to the bottom of the 1st inning, and this SAP broadcast brought to you by Carl's Jr. Try the Big Country Breakfast Burrito with eggs, hash browns, and savory sausage gravy. And here's the man. If the Padres are going to win tonight, they're going to have to beat one of the best pitchers in the major leagues, and his record testifies to that great talent. 5-0, 0.79 in his 5 starts, including a win over the Padres. Jimenez from the Dominican Republic. Over 10% of the major leaguers are from the Dominican Republic, and that's why the Padres have invested in a big facility down there, try to capture some of this profound ability themselves. Tony Gwynn falls behind 0-2.
Jimenez, just electric stuff. Always had a great arm. Location was more the issue, and now he's gotten that under control.
Strike 3, 3 pitches, 3 strikes. And he had one of those, the middle pitch of that sequence was 99 miles an hour. In fact, he averaged the fastest pitches in the league last year. Here's the Padres lineup, brought to you by Alpine Rock and Block. Start your next backyard project with Alpine Rock and Block. Gwynn, Eckstein, and Gonzalez. And in the middle 3, Headley, Venable, and Scott Hairston, with Torrealba, Zawadzki, and Correa, 7, 8, and 9. Eckstein takes a fastball at 99. And he's so effortless.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, there's just not a whole lot of effort into these.
101.
And that's just paint on the outside corner, and at 101, there's not a whole lot you can do with that.
Fans, you heard them react when it went up on the scoreboard. Finally throws the ball out of the strike zone at 100, and that had some run on it.
And that's the thing. He can work to both sides. Left-handers, that ball starts in and runs back over the plate.
Ooh, he hits him with this one, and that cannot feel good. It was off speed, 82 miles an hour. Thank goodness not one of those fastballs. And wincing, Eckstein goes to first. You can take one for the team, but that was a painful one at that.
Just a breaking ball that got away from him. Looks like it hit David right on the elbow.
Yeah, ooh. It's not the funny bone when that one hits you.
Yeah.
Adrian Gonzalez steps in. 294, leading the team home run 6 and RBI 17. Swings and late on the fastball, 97. Gonzalez loves to play at night. His nighttime batting average is 395. Change up outside.
That just seems unfair right there. I mean, 101 with the fastball, and then you back that up with an 87 mile per hour changeup that has the same kind of movement that the fastball does.
Swing and a miss. 1-2. His changeup is the same speed as a lot of pitchers' fastball.
Exactly. And it's not a straight change. It's got a lot of sink to it.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Overpowering Jimenez to open this game. Here's a look at the Colorado defense. Behind Jimenez, it's Stewart, Tulowitzki, Barmas, and Hilton on the infield. Smith in left, Fowler the center fielder, and Gonzo in right. Jimenez and Olivo the battery. Chase Headley, leading hitter for the Padres this year, 327. Oh, finally a bat meets ball. That's a moral victory.
Jimenez's stuff is so good that you know, for a lot of hitters, they're going to have to try to pick a pitch. Pick a pitch, pick a location. When you get it, take your best swing, because as we've seen tonight, the fastball's already electric. He's got a good changeup.
Misses there, 1-1. That was the change at 89. Goodness. As Randy Reddy described it, he has wipeout stuff. in the dirt. Curveball missing, 2-1. Eckstein at first, hit by a pitch. A couple of strikeouts by Jimenez. And Headley with the count 2-1. Most instances, this would be a hitter's count. Let's see what Headley does. What does he get here? Up the middle, base hit. There goes the no-hitter. Eckstein running on the pitch, goes to third. First and third in the first inning, and Padres with a chance for the early lead.
Well, you pick your pitch, pick a location. You got the fastball, 2-1. Fastball down in the zone. Movement back over the middle of the plate. Puts it into center field. Eckstein gets to third, and first opportunity of the night.
Will Venable hitting .231. Dozen RBIs, second to Gonzalez on the team. Now, a man that throws this fast, would you choke up a little? Would you ever give a little bit on the bat?
Well, I used a short bat, so for me, no.
Couldn't choke up.
Exactly. I think for some of these guys, they're going to do what they always do. A lot of guys aren't going to choke up. I think most guys are going to try to get out early. They're going to cheat. They're going to look for the fastball, commit to the fastball. If he throws his breaking ball or changeup for a strike, you just have to tip your cap. I don't think a lot of guys tonight are going to go up there looking for something off speed.
Venable got an 89-mile-an-hour slider. Fouls it back. Man, that is just sounded fast. 99. And they say Venable went around. Third base umpire Jeff Kellogg. Well, you've got to be quick to catch up with that kind of speed. So if you decide not to go all the way, it's hard to hold back.
Well, this is one of those guys that you're starting to see a lot more of in the big leagues, where when they throw that hard, you have to commit to the fastball.
Ahead on the count, 2 strikes. And the scouting report coming into play there is Headley has 8 stolen bases, and so they're keeping an eye on him. Eckstein over at third. 2 out here in the first. And a pitch out. So the Rockies figuring that something might be in the works. Good place to use the pitch out.
Well, Rockies have been paying attention. Padres leads the National League in stolen bases. And I figure if you got a chance, you're ahead in the count, and you want to try to get an easy out, you pitch out.
That play has worked against the Padres this year.
Well, it's also one of those things that is going to happen a whole lot more. Teams aren't going to be surprised.
Down low, 2-2 to Venable. Again, that fastball just a tick under 100. Levo looking in to get the sign. Rocky dugout. He's got all the pitches. It's just a matter of what they want him to use here on 2-2. Checked his swing. It went around. He didn't check. Breaking ball down in the dirt, and Jimenez strikes out the side in the first. The Padres get a hit, lead 2. No score after 1.
Well, the record is 74-62, and here's their lineup, and it's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Blackman, LeMahieu, and then Arenado. See where he ranks. Probably 1 or 2 or 3 and everything. Story's having a great year. Then it's Holiday, Desmond, and Gonzalez. Drew Butera just arrived. He's in the lineup, followed by Tyler Anderson.
Matt Bum on the mound, 2.68 ERA, 100 innings pitched, only 9 homers allowed, doing what he does, striking out a lot of guys, walking very few. Fastball, cutter, change, and curveball are his pitches. I think he's going to throw a lot more cutters than you'll see fastballs today, especially being here in Coors.
All right, here's the Giants defense behind Bumgarner. It'll be Slater, Hernandez, and Pence in the outfield from left to right. Longoria, Crawford, Tomlinson, Darno, third to first. Hundley will do the catching, as it'll be Charlie Blackmon to step up to face the Giants ace. And a called strike. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Blackmon 8 for 25 in his career against Bumgarner. All these hitters have had a lot of at-bats against Bumgarner. Oh, and 2. The hitter with the most at-bats is Carlos Gonzalez. He's had 65. And he actually has the best numbers against Bumgarner. Up the middle, and a base hit. As Blackmon just poked at that, and once it got by Bumgarner, he's aboard. Our Mercedes pivotal play, June 27th against the Rockies. Bumgarner struck out DJ LeMahieu to lead off the game, and that was his 1,500th career strikeout.
Pretty good.
See where Bumgarner ranks in San Francisco history. See Mike's at the bottom at 802. And all good ones. Here's LeMahieu hitting at 270. Takes a strike. LeMahieu 9 for 39 against Bumgarner. He's had maybe the biggest hits this year for the Rockies. There's a high fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Arenado to follow, and then Trevor Story. Down the right field line, that's going to be out of play. Most home runs against Bumgarner in this lineup is Gonzalez has got 5. But Bumgarner's also struck him out 19 times.
Doesn't surprise me. He's an all-in guy. He's going to swing really hard regardless of the count.
Yep. 1 and 2. And a pitch just high. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crawford and Tomlinson at double play depth. Just a bit outside. It's 3 and 2. The outfielder's straight away. It's about as straight away as you're going to get. And that's about right. LeMahieu hits the ball all over the place. That's the way they wrote it up about 150 years ago. See if Blackmon goes. He does not. And there's a drive in the left center field. Hit very well and gone. LeMahieu with his 14th of the season, and it's 2-0.
He's starting to hit for a little more power than he has in the past. That ball is just down and in. When you get it up in the air like that at Coors Field, that ball's not going to come down. That's the trajectory you don't want to see as a pitcher, is that one.
So a single and a home run, and here's Arenado. And Arenado lines this one down the left field line. That's a base hit. And Arenado's got a double. So here's Trevor Story. Story's having a great year. 293, 26 home runs, 87 runs batted in. He does not have good numbers against Bumgarner lifetime. He's 2 for 17. Skies it into center field. See if this ball will come down. It's not. Gone.
Just another one of those trajectory, and it's warm. It's a warm day in Colorado. The ball carries very, very well. This ball really was not hit dead center, 420 feet. If you think about how he hit it, it's probably more of a pop-up. Well, not maybe a long fly ball, but here, that's just not going to happen.
Well, I thought this one was going to be caught. But you're right, it just gets out there and it keeps going. So here's Matt Holliday. And he takes a breaking ball down low. And Bumgarner's pitch is high. 2 balls and no strikes. Three and 0. Desmond and then Gonzalez. There really isn't a break in this lineup.
It's not going to get any easier. This is a lineup you have to just keep challenging.
So that's high, ball 4.
And when you don't feel like maybe you're having your stuff that day, you have to come up with something, because these guys are just going to keep walking up to the plate. They're not going to make it easy on you.
So here's Desmond. Desmond is at 230, 20 home runs, 77 runs batted in. And a first pitch strike on the inside corner. You almost have to, if you're standing out there on defense, you just have to keep reminding yourself that, yes, we know the offense has been struggling, but this is the park where you can do some things in. So 4 runs in this ballpark is, especially in the first inning.
Yeah, we used to see, you know, and I came in with a couple different teams, but it was always intriguing to see the Rockies. You go up like 6-0 on them the first 3 innings, and you look over at their bench, and they weren't even worried about it.
That they were not phased.
Because they knew that they were going to have to come up there and hit 3-4 times, and they were going to put up some runs. But the Giants should feel the same way. Like, hey, this is a good ballpark to hit in. We might be down 4 runs, but we just got to get some good swings on some balls.
You got to feel like that. 1 and 2. So the next pitch for Madison Bumgarner will be number 20. Hit on the ground. Longoria will field it, but it's foul. So it remains 2-2. Got him. Needed that.
Yeah. It's like a backdoor cutter, 3-2. Huntley might have stole that strike a little bit for him, but too close to take if you're a hitter in that situation.
Absolutely. Here's Gonzalez at 287, 15 home runs, 56 runs batted in. Crawford will move to the right of second base. And the first pitch is low in the dirt. Dodgers will host the Mets today. Arizona's going to host the Padres. Drew Butera is on deck. Here's the 1-0 to Gonzalez. And it's high, 2-0. Longoria, the lone defender on the left side. Off the end of the bat. Pence can't get it. And that's how it goes in this ballpark.
Yeah, because you have to play so deep because of how the ball will carry on you. Leaves so much room in front of you for that kind of stuff to happen where he hits it off the end of the bat and falls. This can be a very frustrating part for pitchers to figure out how to get outs in.
Yeah, I can imagine how frustrating it is for pitchers when the hitter makes contact and you know pretty much whether it's going to be an out or not. And when Gonzalez hit that, you have to think that Madison Bumgarner thought for sure that that was an out.
Yeah.
He just started walking down the third baseline, and then that pitcher made his first move in his windup. He was gone. And he was a big man back in those days. If they blocked the play, he'd run right over him.
Yogi Berra bumping into the chest protector of the umpire. He thought he was out. And Jackie could indeed steal home. And Roger Craig, you played for him and know Roger, he's such a wonderful character, was mentioning also that what Jackie Robinson would do, he would single and go almost halfway to second base.
Yeah.
If you threw back to first base, he took second. If you threw to second, he went back to first. Right. I mean, he was so good and so quick in reacting that he dared you and would steal bases even on a live play. A single could become a double, a triple. There are his numbers. Remember, he didn't make it because of the prejudice against black players. He didn't get to the big leagues till he was 28 years old. And look at the numbers he posted in just 10 years. Think about that. Willie Mays, because of Jackie Robinson, of sorts, he got to start playing in the big leagues at 21.
That's right.
All right, 2-1. This game's got to end 4-2, don't you think?
In favor of the Padres, of course. You know, that steal of home for Jackie Robinson, I'm surprised Casey Stengel didn't challenge that. He was the manager of the Yanks at 55. Oh, if I could go back in time, Dick.
He was lucky that they even had film coverage of that. Denorfia, Hundley, and Erlin to bat for the Padres. Bottom three in the order against Juan Nicasio. Dino is 250 on the season. Yeah, I remember Yogi and Jackie Robinson arguing about just that play. Yogi would not relent. He was, "You were out." And Jackie would smile and giggle. I'd like to go back and redo those sports challenge shows. Over 100 shows with the greatest athletes in all the sports. And what did I know about hockey? You know, and they never got one autograph. I mean,
really?
Yeah. The delight was that after the shows, they'd all gather in the green room, and there'd be some beverages, and they were in no hurry to leave, and they talked the sport of the. You know, they're all fans, so they're talking the other guy's sport. Strike 3 called. Denorfia caught looking. That's second strikeout for Nicasio. Well, a reminder this month, Fox Sports San Diego is proud to honor the Jackie Robinson Family YMCA. In fact, they were here present before the game tonight in ceremonies. The charity partner of the month, presented by Kaiser Permanente. Their mission is dedicated to improving the quality of human life and helping all people realize their fullest potential. For more information, visit foxsportssandiego.com.
And Michael Bruckner, the executive director of the Jackie Robinson Family YMCA, is going to be joining us in a little bit here. He does great things for the kids and everybody down there at the YMCA. He's been at it a long time, doing great things.
Nick Hundley, just 10 at bats so far, 4 for 10. Manager Bud Black had a premonition that Hundley would run into one tonight.
That'd be nice.
Let's see if he can prognosticate the big moment. That's right in there. 3-1. Three and 2. More pitches, and now right at 42. Up the middle. Tough play for the shortstop Tulowitzki, but he makes it. Oh, he's so smooth for a big man. And able to throw off balance and be that accurate as Hundley is denied. 2 out to Robbie Earlham, the pitcher.
You're absolutely right, Dick. A big frame, 6'3", 215, Troy Tulowitzki. From the glove to the bare hand, and then look at the throw. It's a nice firm throw on the run for the veteran shortstop.
Nicasio almost ruined the chance. He threw his flagged his glove up there. If you'd hit it, might have deflected it for a base hit. Erlin's first at bat this year, and he hits it right back off Nicasio this time. Here comes Tulowitzki again, and he makes the play. Now they don't practice that one. 1-6-3. A couple of dandies made by the shortstop for the Rockies. Padres go in order thanks to Tulowitzki's defense.
Ryan Wheeler will bat first, and then Pacheco and LeMahieu. Wheeler today playing first base, giving Justin Morneau a break. It's his 6th career start at first base, 12th time that he's ever been inserted in the game at first base. And he's never made an error.
No, played quite a bit there during spring training, bouncing back and forth between third and first. Good chance for Walt to give Justin Morneau the day off. He's been playing a lot. Give him a breather.
Wheeler's lined out to third base. Good play by David Wright. Take a hit away from Ryan his first time up. And this ball's hammered to right, and it is gone. Second career home run for Wheeler. First, obviously, this year. And it's 6-1.
He got the barrel of the bat out on that cut fastball. Ball's away from him, and he knew it. Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo connects on the sweet spot of the bat. And that sweet sound. People were ducking out right field.
I think Mom's in attendance tonight. And that smoked to center field. Jordan Pacheco with his second hit of the night.
Tommy Kahnle up in the bullpen after that home run, and pitcher spot coming up on deck. Brandon Barnes has grabbed a bat. First DJ LeMahieu. There's Barnesy.
About the portion of the game that Miami really put a hurting on Henry Mejia in his last start.
They did it in the 6th inning. Rockies got to him an inning before in the 5th. Gave up 6 earned runs in that game. Runs that he allowed, that tied a career high. I mentioned Tommy Kahnle getting loose.
Fastball count here for LeMahieu. And he sliced the heater into the stands. Hey, big thank you for all those great questions tonight during Toyota Talk. For more answers to your questions, visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRN. See if Ryan Wheeler started something. Three and one. Again, as we showed you, Brandon Barnes on deck to hit for Morales.
This is the time I'd like to see DJ turn it loose. 3-1.
If you get something on the inner half, fly those hips open, huh?
Right. Strong enough to jump on it and hit it out. Anthony Recker went through every sign. Couldn't agree on one.
Three and two.
The pitch in is just down too much for DJ. You start the runner down by 5. Stay out of the double play. That's the question for Walt that's already been determined. I think you do. DJ put the ball in play.
He takes off, ball 4. 2 on, nobody out. Rockies have a run in on the home run by Ryan Wheeler. Brandon Barnes coming up. Well, as we talked about earlier, it's the AT&T fan photo of the game. You can tweet your photo to a hashtag #CLFanPhoto to be a part of an upcoming broadcast brought to you by AT&T. This is Buster the dog. Big Rockies fan, in fact.
Huge.
Always eats early when the Rockies are playing on the East Coast.
Make sure everything's good to go before the game starts.
A little earlier start time.
Oh, Brandon Barnes, 4 for 10 pinch hitting. Leads the ball club in at-bats in that role. Second would be Corey Dickerson with 9 at-bats.
So Barnes, who's battling his own pretty bad cold right now, comes to the plate. I mentioned that because Rosario is under the weather. Rutledge had to be placed on the 15-day disabled list with a viral infection.
It helps when you have players not only like Troy but Brandon with Kadire going on the DL to step right in and hit over 400.
This guy's been nails. Here's the 1-0 to Brandon. 1-1. Change speeds on him.
Anybody everybody's had a cold, so you know that feeling when you're kind of in that fog, but trying to hit major league pitching. Really, really hard.
Kind of check swing, ground ball. And you get him? No, the ball came out. Due to drop the baseball. So the Rockies catch a break. And it's 1st and 3rd with 1 out.
Excuse me, swing. Didn't mean to swing. Stop. Tejada gets rid of it to Murphy. Duda just dropped it because the first base umpire, Paul Schreiber, was ready to call Brandon out. Never was in the glove. Hit off the heel.
Charlie Blackmon, strikeout and a line out to second. It turned into a double play. Last year, in his only at bat against Henry Mejia, Charlie Blackmon went deep.
City Field. Sands the beard at 392 out to right center field.
Charlie had 6 home runs last year. He's got 6 this year in a whole lot less at bats. And this is going to bloop into center field, a base hit. And a real good read by Barnes. He's going to go 1st to 3rd at 6-2. As Blackmon has his 22nd RBI.
The Rockies are second in the major leagues with runners at scoring or runners at third base and less than 2 outs. Charlie Blackmon comes through to drive in Jordan Pacheco. Broke his bat on this swing. And Brandon Barnes reads it really well. Goes first to third. And sets up another chance to drive in a run.
Well, look at this. RBIs at home. Stanton's driven at 26 at home. Blackman 18. Tulowitzki 17. And this ball driven toward the gap in left center field. Cut off there, but it scores a run as Drew Stubbs makes it 6-3. Here come the Rockies. You just can't keep this offense down for 9 innings. It is unusual if you do. He had been rolling along.
And with the drop ball at first base.
Big play.
Big play because Brandon Barnes is safe. He goes first to third now. He comes in on the single by Drew Stubbs. And now you get to the teeth of the lineup. Cargo and Tulo.
Now, there's no lefty up. There's only one lefty down there, Rice. Cargo's coming up. He represents the tying run. He almost hit one out his first time up. Just a little out in front on a ball he hit to fairly deep right field his last time.
Look for him to pull this pitch.
Blackman at second, Stubbs at first. Ton of speed aboard. And this ball pulled through the right side, base hit. Cut the bag and heading home. Charlie Blackman at 6-4. Carlos Gonzalez with a knock. And the crowd, a large one here on Saturday night, is alive and well.
And after the home run by Ryan Wheeler, it's just been singles to death and then first to third. Keep that engine moving. Carlos was going to look for a pitch that he could pull after hitting the ball to left center field. They're not going to put him in the same spot. He's looking for a pitch in. He pulls it into the hole. And again, first and third, down by 2 runs. 1 out. Troy coming to the plate. Daisuke Matsuzaku.
Well, what's interesting is a few minutes ago when we eyeballed him down there off camera, he was like last night, Hugh. He didn't have the hat on. Now the hat's on. Business. It means business, right? Here's Troy. And he gets hit. Wow.
Right on the elbow.
Well, I hope it was. He's not reacting like it's right on the elbow because he has an elbow guard on. Well. He must have missed the elbow pad.
Oh, you know what it was? It was a skimmer right off that pad where it catches part of the pad and part of the bone.
That loads the bases for Nolan Arenado with 1 out. And this has happened so fast. I don't know if Terry Collins has prepared Daisuke for it. Remember, Daisuke is still adjusting to being a bullpen guy. He's a starting pitcher who got a lot of warm-ups.
Well, the 3rd time through the order against Mejia this year. Opposing club's 357.
There it is on your screen. Really good the first 2 times. Not so much the 3rd time. And Nolan lifts it to deep left field. Way back. Get on out of here. Grand slam, Nolan Arenado. And the Rockies have taken the lead. Not to mention a 23-game hitting streak. Second career slam for Nolan. How do you like me now?
This place is going bonkers. How about this? Slider, he knows it. I love the reaction. Yep, toss it back. Yeah. way to extend the hitting streak.
Rockies blanked for 4 innings by Mejia. I mean, very little happening offensively. And just like that, this offense, the best in baseball, throws an H spot on you.
First batter of this inning, a home run. The last batter Mejia faced this inning, a home run.
Still just 1 out. 8-6 Colorado. You gotta love it.
It began as genius and grew to be legend, and has become at long last the most advanced production car on the planet.
You've never seen anything like this before.
A new Chevrolet Corvette like never before.
Never before.
A Corvette superb in its engineering and technology and defiant in its performance.
You've never felt anything like this before.
Feel the performance of the world's first computer-activated manual transmission.
Never before.
A Corvette with never-before available unidirectional turbine fin wheels and tires individually engineered for all 4 corners.
You've never seen anything like this before.
Liquid crystal displays, 14 separate instrument readouts, English or metric, all updated 16 times every operating second.
You've never heard anything like this before.
An available Delco Bose stereo with 4 never-before speakers, separately engineered for sound that's out of this world.
Never before.
The most advanced production car on the planet is now called Corvette. Chevrolet is taking charge.
Rockies are 3 outs from moving to 11-2 in 2011. They're 5-0 in the driver's seat on the Chicago Cubs. Let's send it to Tom Helmer for a Toyota postgame preview. Tom?
Drew, on the postgame, we'll be talking deep thoughts. Another starting pitcher goes deep into a ball game. We'll break down the performance of Chacin. Also, we'll get you into the clubhouse. And I wanted to update you on Jerry Lane, the umpire that was hitting the leg in the 2nd inning. I talked to him just a few minutes ago. He is out of the hospital. They have sent him back with a walking boot. It is not broken, but he said the pain is something else. Drew?
Yeah, I would imagine, Tom, that they'll probably get a replacement umpire for Jerry for the rest of the series. He's in a walking boot. I doubt he's working tomorrow. Thanks for that update, Tom. Don't forget, Toyota Talk continues during the entire postgame show, so keep texting your comments. And here's what happened to Jerry very early in the ball game. Carlos Pena just ripped the ball, and Lane couldn't get out of the way. Ramirez at the plate fouls it off. It's 1-1 as Chacin's going to have an opportunity to throw a complete game shutout. One ball, 2 strikes on the 32-year-old Aramis Ramirez, who 6 times in his career has driven in more than 100 runs in a season.
Last year, he led the club in both home runs and RBIs. 25 home runs, 83 RBIs. Low numbers for RBIs. He got off to a slow start.
He got off to a horrendous start. To third. Nice pick up there by Lopez. That's 1. First time Ramirez has been retired tonight. That'll bring up Payne. It'll take us to our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Bases loaded. Chris Iannetta got a slider, and he drove it over the outstretched glove of Marlon Byrd at center. Everybody come home. And Starlin Castro threw it in the Cubs dugout. Wasn't his intended target. Chris would come home. To a Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Pena tonight is 1 for 3. The shift is on. And that pitch is high. Again, Toyota Talk in the post-game show. You know the drill. Rockies 4 in the 2nd, as we just showed you. Helton drove in Herrera in the 5th inning. Rockies actually haven't done much since then. Their last 10 have been retired. 2-0. I really think that with Chacin tonight, Tracy and Bob Apodaca said, there hasn't been really a stressful inning. And so as opposed to 100 pitches where guys living on the edge for 60 of them, it's pretty much been in cruise control.
Well, think back to last year, too. In the second half of the season after the All-Star break, he was one of the top 5 pitchers in the National League for ERA. That was Yolis. He was 224. The leader there was Zambrano and Hudson. Cole Hamels was on that list. But now he takes that next step the following year. And he's a guy that's moved up from the number 5 starter to the number 3 starter this year. So this is another growth step for him to be able to do this, go out there, throw a complete game, and give that bullpen a much, much needed rest.
This is their 3-1.
Well, this is where you're all right, a 3-1. If you want to throw him a fastball away to see, go ahead and challenge him in this instant. I mean, you're ahead 5-0. You've already got 1 out. Just set up on the outside corner, see if he'll pull it and roll over.
So a second walk issued. And that'll bring up Soriano. We spent so much time talking about pitch counts. The modern game. Not that 20 years ago wasn't a modern game, or 30 years ago, but I know a guy that's a good friend of yours that cannot stand.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, I mean, cannot stand that any mention of a pitch count, and that is the great Nolan Ryan.
And he's kind of taken it out of the playbook for the Texas Rangers in just that regard. Get him over that mental hurdle of saying, okay, at 100 I'm supposed to get tired, and at 125 you have to take me out. I understand protecting guys. You don't want to ruin a guy's career or arm.
That's a good pitch. 0-2 on Soriano.
But sometimes they have to take a little growth step to be able to go out there.
I'll tell you something that may shock you, because it shocked me. Another figure that I guarantee Nolan Ryan doesn't like is quality starts. 6 innings, 3 runs or less, because in his day and age, you wanted to shake hands at the end of the day. Ground ball to third. To first, double play, complete game shutout for Chacin. 25th complete game shutout in the history of the Rockies, the 10th here at Coors Field. What a marvelous performance by Yolis Chacin. He was in total control throughout. Aaron Cook against the Padres, July 1st, 2008. The last time a Rockies pitcher hurled a complete game shutout. Chacin is now 3-0. The Rockies are a Major League best 11-2. Our delivery of the game brought to you by Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. Yolis Chacin pounded the strike zone early and often, and then his slider and his changeup virtually unhittable. Not really a hard hit ball all night. He ends up with 7 strikeouts, a pair of walks, 1 in the 8th and 1 in the 9th. A marvelous performance by Yolis Chacin. Charlie Monfort approves. He's 3-0. The Rockies have won 7 straight. Stick around. The Toyota postgame show is up next. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Rockies. Bottom of the 9th inning, here's the situation. The Rockies ahead 2-0 most of the night, now find themselves down 3-2. Francisco Cordero, a veteran closer, is in the ballgame. Now, he's good, but he is a guy that has coughed some up. League's hitting just under 240 against him. He will walk about 4.5 batters per 9 innings. So this is not by any stretch automatic. And Cordero at different points in his career has been looked upon as automatic, but I don't think you look at it that way anymore.
No, and he's lost his closer's role at different times in his career because he's been erratic. Right-handers this year hit 255 with a couple bombs off of Cordero.
And here's what the Rockies
have up. They have Torrealba, Barma's schedule. You have one left-handed bat, Giambi. You know that card's in all likelihood going to be played at some point. You also have Spilborghs. Now, Barma's struggling with the bat. Barma's.
Right.
If Torrealba reaches, you want to move him to second base.
You can bunt him, and then bring up Giambi. If something happens, if Torrealba gets out, then you can send Giambi up next.
This is in the air to right on the first pitch. And now, let's see, is it going to be Barmas? Yep, it'll be Barmas hitting against Cordero.
Well, maybe it goes back to those numbers I was talking about, 255 against Cordero from the right side. Giambi's ready. He's ready to go with the pitcher spot due up next.
Well, this game will not end without Giambi getting a shot. Barmas takes a strike. He's 0 for 3. Did reach on an error back in the second inning. Cordero owns 244 career saves. Giambi's seen him before. And Cordero is with Texas. That's down the line. Full ball. Barmas will head to second with a one-out double. Time run at second base. Clint Barmas comes through.
And did he ever? 27th double this season now for Clint Barmas. And don't throw him a fastball down and in. And that's exactly what they did. Hyundai Cam shows how he'll just get those hands through the hitting zone as quick as anybody on that inside third, and then it kicks off the wall. They would not even have had him at second base. Let's see how Dusty Baker, just looking at this, see if he might walk Giambi. I know it put the winning run on, but it also sets up the double play.
Giambi takes ball one. One of the things you love about Giambi, he understands situations. Forget the 408 career home runs. He's not thinking about a walk-off here. He's thinking about one thing, driving the ball to the middle of the field and getting Barmas home. 2-0. Yeah, Spilborgh's out on deck for Quintanilla.
I was talking to him around the batting cage yesterday, and he said, man, I just love hitting here. Jason Giambi was saying that because he goes, you look out there and you just feel like there's so much open space. I don't have to pull the ball. I can hit it wherever it's pitched.
3-0. And true to his Oakland form, his New York Yankee form, he won't expand. 3-0. He'll pass the baton if necessary. Ball 4. So Giambi walks. Cordero pitches around him, which I guess from his standpoint, he looked in the on-deck circle. He knows he's getting a right-handed bat. And it sets up the opportunity to turn 2. And you'll get Giambi off the field, and you're going to get Jason Marquis to run. You know, one of the things I was thinking about that you could do is run Matt Merton. Merton really runs well.
He does, and it's one of those situations too, though. You want to make sure that you have a guy maybe left to play still.
In extra frames. Yeah, you're starting. That's one of the things that, obviously, I know the philosophy of Jim Tracy. Try to win it nigh. He learned that from Felipe Alou when they were together in the Montreal organization, and he worked for Felipe.
And the only reason I say that, though, because you got Ian Stewart with the bad back and you got Troy Tulowitzki. You've already used Dexter Fowler, so that really only leaves you Paul Phillips and Chris Iannetta, 2 catchers.
Spilborghs has been a hero before, recently. Outside, ball 1. 2 on, 1 out. A hit'll tie it. A gapper could win it. All of a sudden, Cordero, after pitching around Giambi, now can't find the zone against Spilborghs.
It goes back to your point you made when he first came in here now. How he'll give up some walks. He'll all of a sudden lose that strike zone, and once he walked Giambi's had trouble getting it back now.
3-0 with Gonzalez on deck. Now you got to take a strike.
You take a strike. You might even take two. If you're Ryan Spilborg, you're sitting there going, okay, it's 3-0 right now. He has not even been close on the last two pitches. I'm taking a strike, and I could go take another one at 3-1.
Ball 4. Now they're loaded up. Now the winning run is at second base with Jason Marquis. And coming to the plate, Carlos Gonzalez. And behind him is Seth Smith.
Right off camera, I was looking down into the dugout just a second ago. You mentioned Jason Marquis. Tommy Runnels was down there and telling Jason Marquis to freeze on a line drive. Yeah, he's a good athlete, good base runner, all that. But sometimes you get amped up in these situations. You want to make sure that, yeah, you're the winning run, but don't get doubled up. That's the biggest thing as a base runner right now. Do not get doubled up.
Gonzalez 1 for 4. Cordero is all over the place. 9 straight out of the zone. This is Dusty Baker's guy. There's nobody left.
And this has just not even been close to the zone. Overthrowing the baseball, doing everything. He's fortunate that Hannigan was able to catch that ball.
He's also fortunate it didn't hit Gonzalez's foot.
Yep. Very patient now, Carlos. The pitcher's the one in trouble right now.
That's a strike, 1-1.
That's okay.
You know, he told me something, Gonzalez, very interesting a few days ago. Since he's been about 8 years old, growing up in Venezuela, he was so gifted. He was always playing on national teams. So he's been, yeah, this is the big leagues, but he's been in a lot of pressure situations, playing for his country. 1-2.
All right, step out, take a deep breath. That's exactly what Carlos is doing right now. Slow everything down. Try to slow that heartbeat down. Everybody's standing on their feet here. Everybody's excited at home watching us. Slow that heartbeat down a little bit.
Gonzalez strikes out. There are 2 outs. And it'll be left to Seth Smith. Who else?
Ball sinking down and away. Was not going to be a strike. Big Cam just couldn't quite reach it at the end of the bat. But now, I mean, he's not out of the woods yet with Seth Smith, the guy that we talk about the damage he's done in the 7th inning, but a disciplined hitter.
Smith takes a strike. Tying run at third and Barmes, who doubled. Marquis running for Giambi, who walked, is at second. He is the winning run. One and one.
This is where Seth is so good because of his mechanics. The way he just spreads out and just thinks about using the hands.
That's 1-2. 97 miles an hour on that last fastball by Cordero.
I think he'll try to throw that slider the way he hasn't been able to command it.
Hannigan almost had his left arm pulled out of socket reaching that. It's 2-2.
It's cat-like reflexes to be able to jump up there and get this ball. Yeah, he wanted it down. Fortunately, he had jumped up a little bit before that to get up onto the balls of his feet to be able to reach that ball.
Two and two on Mr. Late Night, Seth Smith. Down the left field line, well out of play.
He just looks so calm right there.
Good. He's more calm than I am. Guarantee you that. Good swing.
Yes, it was. Starting to get a little bit of that timing of that 97-mile-an-hour fastball. But that goes back to the point of not being able to throw an off-speed pitch. You're afraid if you bury it, it might get by the catcher. Allow that tying run to score. Cordero, if he's going to get beat, with the heater.
And again, it's fouled off. That was a difficult pitch to get to also at 98 up and away.
Kind of like that Helton swing, just an emergency one. I'm going to just try to foul it off. It is, for some reason, too, for a left-handed hitter, that's a tough one to get up on top of. This side, I mean, this ball's right up in that area and even a little bit higher when he goes to swing at it. Notice how he raised up out of his crouch to be able to foul it off.
Up the middle, smothered on through. Marquis being sent home. He's going to score. Rockies win it. Smith has done it again. Seth Smith has done it again. Underneath the gold glove of Brandon Phillips, it trickled into no man's land in center. Jason Marquis followed Clint Barnes to the plate, and the Rockies win it 4-3 in walk-off fashion.
1-0 Padre lead into the top of the ninth, and on comes the closer, Heath Bell.
Well, you see the numbers. Outstanding, 37 saves. And he's going to have to earn this one. He's got to go through the middle of this lineup. Helton, Tulowitzki, and Hop. But the all-star Heath Bell, you see the career numbers against Heath Bell. Pretty good success.
Have good numbers.
Yeah, pretty good success.
Dodgers are up big, 10-2 on the Giants. Bottom of the ninth, San Francisco batting. Hilton 0 for 2, hit by pitch in the seventh. He leads off the top of the ninth. Heath, the sixth Padres pitcher of the game. The starter, Edward Mujica, went 4. Gallagher and Russell each win an inning. Thatcher a third of an inning, and Gregerson an inning and 2/3.
And I think that's to be expected. You know, we knew Mujica was, be limited from between 40 and 60 pitches, and everybody has thrown the ball extremely well tonight, especially that guy.
Strike 2 to Helton. And Gregerson an inning and 2/3. No runs, no hits. Struck out a couple. He would be the winning pitcher if this 1-0 score holds due to the official scorer's discretion. Bell trying to make it hold. A 2-2 on Helton leading off.
How was that, Mark? How is Gregerson
I guess the way the scoring rules, so to speak, read, if the starter doesn't go 5, the official scorer has the discretion to give the win to the pitcher he deems pitched the most effective.
Okay. Well, no question. That guy, Gregerson, he had second and third and 1 out. Well, Russell threw the ball good. He had a solid inning, 2 strikeouts.
3-2 on Helton. Big pitch here. And he walks the leadoff man here in the ninth. Mike McCoy is going to run for Helton.
Bell wasn't going to take a chance coming inside on Todd Helton. He was going for the outside part of the plate.
All right, tying runs at first. Normally a bunt situation here on the road, but you got your cleanup hitter up, Troy Tulowitzki.
I think if he tries to drop a bunt, he'll be doing it on his own.
Swing it away and hits it towards right field. Venable makes the running catch on the edge of the track. I don't think we're surprised in the least, are we, that Tulowitzki's swinging away there?
Not at all.
That ball pretty well struck.
He did. Kind of had the hot hand. And we talked about it earlier, Tulowitzki, power to all field. That's a fastball up. And he showed he can handle that ball up. He just missed a home run. His first time up off of Mojica was a fastball up that he flew out to the warning track and left.
Giambi's in the on-deck circle. With Hop the hitter. Struck out his first time up tonight, but walked in the 5th and doubled in the 7th. Way up and away from Heath. Ball and a strike.
Just the way that Brad Hop's swinging right now. That's a fastball, and he's looking kind of, that swing's looking kind of long right now.
Hop without an RBI yet this month. Now back 1-2.
Heath Bell, I think, saw the same thing I did. Challenged him with the fastball up in the zone. You know, elevating it a little bit, about letter high.
Left side and through with Cabrera cheating towards the middle at double play depth. Hop hits it on the ground to the left side and sneaks it through for a base hit.
I don't think that's exactly where Heath Bell wanted to put it. He wanted this ball up a little bit, and it's down. He's able to work his hands to the inside and get the barrel to it for a base hit.
Second hit tonight for Hop. And the Rockies have 2 on, 1 out. And Giambi is the pinch hitter. He bats for Garrett Atkins. Breaky ball low, and it's 2-0. Giambi's already had a couple of game-winning hits as a pinch hitter for Colorado since joining the club at the beginning of the month. Outside, off the mitt of Hundley, the runner's hold. But it's 3-0. A 4-pitch walk to Giambi, loads the bases. Darren Balsley coming out. Matt Merton coming to the plate to bat for Colorado. Heath, who saved the last 2 wins in the series in San Francisco on Tuesday and then Wednesday afternoon. And a jam here in the ninth. Bases loaded, 1 out. And Merton. Up for Colorado. Heath, by the way, 37 of 40 in save opportunities. First pitch hacking. Strike 1. And Merton against Bell, career 2 for 5. Tying run, McCoy at third. Go ahead run, Hop at second. Giambi at first. The 0-1 from Heath. Chasing high, Heat 0-2.
Challenging him upstairs. See the fastball. Goes it right by him.
Got him. Merton takes strike 3, and there's 2 away in the ninth.
Here Hundley setting up, and that ball nips the outside corner. That's probably more in the middle of the plate.
Now the catcher Torrealba up. He came into the game the bottom of the 7th, so he's batting for the first time tonight. But Torrealba has actually been hitting very well. So much so that he's been seeing most of the time behind the plate for Colorado over Chris Iannetta.
And I would say Torrealba's a first ball fastball hitter.
And he gets a first pitch fastball and takes it for a strike. 1 for 6 career against Bell. Foul back. And the Rockies down to their last strike.
It just looks like here the last 2 hitters, Heath Bell's turned it up a notch. And a fastball. Really exploding up there.
Bases loaded. 2 outs in the Colorado ninth. Padres scored in the first on a bases loaded walk. Bell trying to make it stand up. The 0-2. Check. First base umpire Jerry Crawford says he held up, and it's 2-2. Ooh, very close. Very close.
Big pitch right here. Don't want to go 3-2.
Left center field, and this is big trouble. It scores McCoy, the go-ahead run. Here comes a third run for the plate, and a base-clearing extra base hit for Torrealba. It's 3-1 Colorado. One pitch after a check swing that was close to being strike 3 to ending the game. The Rockies get a huge hit from Torrealba and take the lead in the ninth.
Well, we talked about it earlier in the game. With this Rocky team, it just seems like somebody different going to step up. He got a fastball in the middle of the plate, and they were playing Torrealba the other way. I want to see the play at the plate. It looked like Hundley tried to block the plate with his foot, but no, Giambi able to get his hand in there.
He's got a quick start. Todd Helton, you've heard of him. He drives in Dexter Fowler, 1-0 Colorado. Third inning, Jason Marquis, who gave up a run in the second, walks in a run, and all of a sudden it's 2-1. Chris Narveson cruised along until Helton scorched a double. They had one hop the wall in right center. Spilborghs would score. The Rockies would get 3 that inning. Yorby Torrealba in the middle of things again with a sac fly to score a run. Tulowitzki moved up. Brad Hopp, look at this, an RBI, fielder's choice. Stewart ducks out of the way, then the ball ends up in right field. The Rockies led 5-2 Houston Street, who's blown one save all year, gives up a 3-run home run to Jason Kendall. A walk and a hit preceded Kendall's at bat. That is why we are still playing. David Weathers, 19 years, a big leaguer, second stint with the Brewers, is on to face Brad Hopp.
20 games in this ballpark. It hasn't been pretty. His fastball not quite as hard after the number of games he's thrown. He used to be a low to mid 90s guy, now 87 to 90, but he tries to create some good sink on the baseball. Hopp has hit him well through his career, but not as well as a guy that you think you'll see come out of the dugout, and that's Jason Giambi. He's 3 for 4 with a home run. Hopp 2 for 4, no home run. Barmes will hit behind him. Barmes 2 for 6 with a home run.
2-1 on Brad. Hopp a double to left center his last time. He had the RBI fielder's choice you just saw in the 6th. Also a walk. You know, Brad's hitting right around 200 in the month of September, but his on-base percentage is above 400. Even though he's struggled in the second half, not driven in runs like he wants to, he's finding his way on base. Last week he's hit a couple of home runs. Trying to reach here with nobody out in the 11th inning. And it's 3-2.
Well, so many teams are trying to pitch him to the inside corner. Trouble is, a lot of umpires will call that pitch that tight on the inside corner, and that time Bill Miller didn't either. So he ran it to a 3-2 count.
Inside, ball 4. And Hopp to first. Barmes is being called back. And Giambi is going to hit right here.
Well, the reason behind that, if you send up Clint Barmes and you have him bunt, you send Giambi up there who's going to walk him. He'll set up the double play ball. Here you take the shot with him. And I just mentioned a minute ago, when you look at it, he's 3 for 4 with a home run. 39% of the walks have scored this year in Major League Baseball.
Honestly, no matter how it turns out, I think it's a very shrewd move by Jim Tracy. This is his guy. He wants him to swing, not trot down to first. And he got a pitch to hit and he fouled it back.
Well, it takes a couple of different approaches, meaning Giambi, depending on the situation and what he does. If it's an 8th inning type pinch hit and they need base runners, a lot of times he's looking for one pitch to drive, and if he doesn't get it into that zone, he doesn't swing.
Honestly, I think right now nobody out, he's thinking base hit.
Well, yeah, but he's not going to swing at something out of the zone. That's the point I'm trying to make. He's going to get a pitch he can handle, and when he can handle it, he's going to put a healthy hack on it. He's designed through his experience, being 38 years old, what he's done against Weathers, where Weathers likes to work him, and he's looking into that zone and trying to take advantage of just that.
One and 2. Hopp running for himself. Eric Young Jr. was used in the 9th inning to run for Spilborghs to try to steal a base, and he got picked off. Used so many bodies now. Hop runs for himself as the winning run. It's 2-2.
Right, the other side of that too, Drew, is you don't all of a sudden, if this game throws another couple of innings and Hop comes back up again, you want his bat to stay in the lineup. You've taken your shots with who you have on your bench. The rest have to sit and watch until maybe somebody gets into scoring position.
Here's the 2-2. And it's popped up right around the mound. Weathers was going to go catch it. Fielders will get it. And Giambi is the first out in the 11th inning. Now Chris Iannetta is going to be used here to pinch hit.
Well, Iannetta 1 for 3, and that one hit off of Weathers has left the yard. Morales is warming up. You hope you don't see him. We'd like to see the Rockies win it here in the bottom of the 11th inning.
Now what you get, George, with David Weathers, after 19 years, he's seen it all. He is not going to be afraid. He pounded the zone against Giambi, and he went right after him. Ball one on a guy with a very good eye at the plate in Chris Iannetta. That's a strike, 1-1. Chris, as you know, has not been playing much lately. All the starts going to Yorvi Torrealba and his hot bat. Iannetta 1 for 2 on the homestand. Two and one. Iannetta started one game against the Padres. He was 1 for 3, a double and a walk. That's a strike, 2-2. Fowler is on deck.
When you have a reputation like Weathers does have, and that he lives in the bottom of the zone and the sinker's the pitch that he's going to throw, he's going to get that pitch called a strike. Going to cross right along the knee area of Chris Iannetta.
Rockies back on July 31st when Weathers was with Cincinnati, beat him with a couple of runs in the 8th inning. Held up, I believe, no swing, 3-2. A week later, David Weathers was dealt to Milwaukee. He may have gone. That was close. That's when Iannetta hit his home run against Weathers. He was leading off the 8th inning. Hop going, this ball through high and deep right center field. Chris Iannetta has done it. A walk-off winner. And the Rockies win it in 11. 7-5. How good that must feel. The forgotten man, Chris Iannetta. He gets David Weathers again. And the Rockies lead the Atlanta Braves by 3 in the wild card.
And down goes Kemp on a breaking ball in the dirt. Whoops, hold everything. Torrealba and Kemp now on a hard tag. That's too bad. It was a very good ball game up to now. A lot of pent-up emotions for both teams. The Dodgers having been shut out up to here. The Rockies having lost 8 in a row. Torrealba having been put down on a pitch up and in. And then Kemp apparently felt that it was a hard tag as he and Torrealba bumped together. So Pierre trying to keep Kemp away. Torrealba heading for the Rockies dugout, and Kemp is still walking in the area behind home. That's not a good idea, Matt. And now Laz Diaz comes over and says, Matt, cool off. Both benches emptied. Here's the pitch to Kemp. It's going to wind up in the dirt, so the out has to be at first. Torrealba and Kemp bumped together, and it looked like Torrealba was just trying to pick up the ball. Kemp shoves Torrealba. Torrealba hits Kemp, and down they go, both of them, and here comes the rest of the team. It was an accident to start it, and Kemp apparently felt that Torrealba had interfered with him, and that started it. The 4 umpires gather, and let's see if there will be a player ejection here. And that really started it.
Ball 1 on Willeen. An infield hit back in the 8th inning. 1 for 5. Rosario. And it's 3-0 on Willeen. Dyer's on deck. And then you have the pitcher spot, George.
Yeah, Belisle.
And Matt Belisle may have to hit for himself.
He's all suited up. Got the gloves, the helmet, the bat, everything.
This ball roped to left, and it is going to run to the wall. Willeen flying around first, heading to second, and he is in there with a double. Leadoff double for Rosario. Justin Upton made a very good throw.
A really good throw, and right on the money from a long distance. Willeen just turned it up those last 30 steps going into the bag at second.
He didn't take it for granted, George.
Nope, sure didn't, and he couldn't. This ball's hit extremely hard. And then they're playing deep to try to prevent balls over their head anyway. Not a long distance to go get the baseball. He can't take it for granted running into second base in that situation. Well, the Rockies with extra base hit to lead off an inning. With a minute ago, it was Eric Young. Now with 1 out at third. Now you've got Willeen at second. They're going to walk Dyer. Not surprising because you have Belisle on the on-deck circle. Now remember, folks, Belisle a starting pitcher for a number of years before he went to the bullpen. He is also a very good athlete that can swing the bat, he can bunt, he can do a number of things. So hopefully he can pull this off.
Yeah, he's not going to be asked to swing it. He's going to give him 3 shots to get a bunt down. Dyer goes to first. Rosario at second. Matt Belisle.
There's always a number of relievers they have take batting practice. Matt Belisle is one of them. Lopez is warming up in the Rockies bullpen. Belisle 18 sacrifice bunts. His last time came in 2011, so he knows what he's doing.
And the Rockies have no position players left. Todd Helton not available. Everybody else has been used. And that's 0-1. Torrealba's on deck. First and second, nobody out. And Belisle gets it down. It's foul ground. Gaddis grabbed it foul, and it's a 2-strike count.
Well, what makes it hard to bunt is Ayala comes from an odd angle, and then he kind of flips it out there at you. And so it's a little difficult to try to really get out and square this thing up way out front because you're going to slide it. And that with a little jab at it. Thought that ball was going to stay in fair territory. Did not.
And now, George, in these situations as a pitcher, you try to elevate, don't you?
That's what you normally would do. And from his angle, though, he may try to throw a slider away from him.
And Belisle is gone as a strikeout victim. So now the Rockies will look for a single to get Rosario home and a victory. Torrealba is first at bat in the 10th inning. As a pinch hitter, was hit by the first pitch he saw. And he stayed in the game at first base. Rutledge ended up coming out. Eric Young Jr. went from the outfield to second base. Kadire went from first base to right field. Extra inning games become a war of attrition. And Torrealba off the end of the bat nearly hit Johnny Herrera in the on-deck circle. Yorvie, in his career, particularly with the Rockies, has had a penchant for the clutch hit. He'd love to produce one right here. 6 years almost since his last walk-off hit. 0-1. Line drive, base hit, and Upton can really throw. They're going to send him. Here's the throw, it's offline. Rockies win it! Yorvie Torrealba coming through. Oh, you gotta love it. Six-5 Colorado in 12.
It appeared to be a fastball that was up. Torrealba started the bat early. Yeah, that's what it is. Fastball that just stayed up. Torrealba just turned on this thing, shot it through the left side of the infield. On a double play deck. Big lead by Rosario. And then the slide to the plate, the line, it was well offline on the throw from Upton. I really don't think if Stu Cole put it up, he'd have stopped anyway. It looked like coming around there, he was headed to the house. Dividends paid already with Torrealba.
That'll make for a happy clubhouse. It'll make for a happy flight down to Phoenix. The Rockies snap a mini 3-game slide, and they score 2 in the 9th against Craig Kimbrell, and they win it in the 12th on the walk-off winner from Yorvie Torrealba. Mark Stout is down with Yorvie. Mark?
It is good to have this guy in purple again. Man, how did that feel? It's been almost 6 years since you've had a walk-off.
I know, it's been great. It felt great too. I mean,
this guy definitely deserved this. You know, this crowd was a better crowd today, the last game. And we go to Arizona with a win. I can't even catch my breath right now.
Catch your breath. Let's talk about the at-bat. You really got around on that pitch, just wanted to square it up.
Yeah, I actually was looking just a meter away. And I don't know if he was just trying to come in, and I just reacted to it, and they hit it really good.
Your student, Willeen Rosario, gets the hit on a 3-0 pitch to get to second. You guys talk in the dugout about these situations?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we know he can hit. So 3-0, he probably go and see the only good pitch that he probably going to see in that at bat. Hopefully he hit it to the bleacher, but I mean, we take that double.
Was this your first hit as a first baseman?
Probably. I know I played first last year, I believe, with the Blue Jays when I was over there, but it might be, actually.
Hey, one last thing, Yorvi. Your dad's here, right?
Yeah, well, actually, no.
He left?
I take it this morning to the airport. He's saying his way back to Florida, so.
Well, he'll have a nice thing to read about when he gets home.
Definitely. All right.
Thanks, Yorvi. All right, Drew.
What a special moment, Mark. Thank you very much. Today is Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Delivery. The game brought to you by Jimmy John's. Guess what it is? 12th inning. A couple of catchers involved. The one's playing first base. Torrealba singles in his pupil, Willeen Rosario, who can run pretty well for a catcher. And the Rockies win it 6-5-12 to improve to 14-7 on the young season. The Braves fall to 15-6. Visit jimmyjohns.com to find a location near you. What a fabulous W for the Rockies. Toyota postgame show is up next. Enjoy.
Ever since man set foot on Earth, he has been a creature on the move, traveling, exploring, always in motion. We have made a science of motion. We are Nissan, a major name on the road for 50 years. Behind every Nissan car and truck is advanced technology. Nissan is now perfecting vehicles that can run on hydrogen or electricity. Nissan has harnessed computers to control car engines and revolutionize dashboards, employing sensors and electronics to cool you, warn you, entertain you, guide you, protect you, and yes, propel you. At Nissan, we make driving more thrilling, more efficient, more comfortable. At Nissan, we make every drive major motion.
Come alive, come and drive. Major motion from Nissan.
See your Datsun dealer.
Rockies have runners at second and third, and Steve, there's a whole bunch of different things that could happen here.
Well, they brought 5 infielders in. Andre Ethier is now coming to the infield. Looks like he's going to play first base, which leads me to believe that they're probably going to pitch to Giambi here. They obviously could put him on base. Then you'd have to pitch to Gonzalez, who already has 2 home runs in this game, with the chance of getting a double play. Looks to me like they want to get Giambi out if they can, then decide what they're going to do with Cargo. And I'd be putting him on quick if it was me.
Tony Gwynn has now moved to right. Kemp is in left center. Scott Elbert, his first pitch misses outside. Elbert out of the pen in an exceedingly difficult situation. Should he get past Giambi, Carlos Gonzalez, already a couple of homers today.
And Eric Young extremely fast coming down the third baseline.
This is going to end it. Only question, will it stay in the park? Jason Giambi sends the folks here in Denver home happy. A 3-run shot off to Scott Elbert. Talk about a game of back and forth. Dodgers really rallied, but Jason Giambi ends it with a big fly.
You really felt like Jason Giambi came to this organization almost as an afterthought 2.5 years ago. They love the way he plays. They love what he adds to this team in the clubhouse. And in that situation right there, he's had some big hits and some huge home runs in his time as a Rocky.
So in total, the Rockies blast 4 homers off of Dodger pitchers, and they win it. Jim Tracy got burned with a decision that he made in the top of the 9th inning, but Jason Giambi takes him off the hook with a 3-run shot here.
Had to try to get the ball away from Giambi. Didn't want to let him pull the ball. That one didn't get away. It was a theme of the day. Left-handed pitchers for the Dodgers who could not get the ball to the outer half of the plate to the left-handed hitters, both Gonzalez twice and Giambi once, both of them hitting home runs.
You know, just an incredible day of baseball here at Coors Field. A lot of things to talk about. Don't go anywhere. Jim Watson's going to take over. Dodgers Live coming your way. Dodgers lose Game 3 of the series, and they lose the series in total against the Rockies. 8-5 is the final score.
Well, we've been locked in at 4-3 since John Buck hit a 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Kevin Millwood kept the Rockies in the ball game. The Rockies haven't done much offensively in terms of scoring runs, obviously, since Tulowitzki hit the 2-run home run in the 3rd. They've had opportunities. They are 2 for 14 tonight with runners in scoring position. So Jim Tracy's made his decision. He's going to lead off under a full moon, Mark Ellis. So Mark Ellis, who had a home run in the 1st inning last night and has been swinging the bat well, will lead off for the Rockies. 9-1-2. Leo Nunez with 32 saves continues on the mound, and the fastball at 94 is south of the knees. It's ball 1.
Ellis 1 for 3 as a Rocky pinch hitting this year.
Out of play. Who Wants Tacos? Fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more for the Rockies Taco Special, text the keyword taco to 720-720. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. 1-1 on Mark Ellis. Look at it. Ellis at 348 on the trip.
Too bad this didn't graze the jersey. I've seen some guys wear baggy jerseys and they'll just clip it.
That's down the right field line. Stanton is going to get there.
Long run for Stanton down the line. Sort of slice it over there. The wall's coming up on you. Reach out, gather yourself.
It's a nicer play than you think.
Yeah, well, with the where that wall is coming up too.
Yep. So Eric Young Jr. with 1 out. That's in there. That's 1 and 2. You know, if Young doesn't reach, you would assume Todd Helton would hit now for Fowler. This is off of Nunez's bare hand. Out at first. Oh, man. On a bang play, Andy Fletcher calls out Eric Young at first. And Leo Nunez trying to keep the training staff and Randy St. Clair in the dugout. He reached out with his bare hand.
Well, this what slowed it down enough for Emilio Bonifacio to come and get the ball And even with the double clutch, a strong enough throw, and we'll get a better look. That was the right call.
Right call. Good call.
Andy Fletcher.
Andy Fletcher.
And how about the footwork also from Gabby Sanchez, because he shifted his foot to that outside part where the ball was going so he could reach for it and get a better stretch.
So Dexter will hit for himself with 2 outs and nobody on a reach for Carlos Gonzalez and maybe Troy Tulowitzki.
Big time changeup.
Varying thoughts on a 1 or 2 run game. Do you take a strike? Two and 1.
I think it depends on who the closer is. If you think it's a guy that you're going to throw a lot of strikes. Remember back in game 163, they didn't do it against Trevor Hoffman.
That you understood. It was a 2-run game and a guy who throws a lot of strikes. And that's in there 2 and 2. Nunez does not walk a lot of guys.
No, just 15 walks, 50 punch outs. So if his walk total was up at 40 to 50 strikeouts, then I would say take a strike. But not with only 15 walks on the season, as many innings as he's thrown.
Two. High 3 and 2.
Everything's away for Dexter. Not going to give him an opportunity to pull one. They're kind of playing him shallow in left field.
And this is a blooper to center field. It's going to drop. Dexter galloping towards second. He's hung up. Bad throw to first. He's going to get to second. Fowler catches a break, and the Rockies are still alive.
Well, we might see a replay of what happened the other night in Cincinnati, making the 3rd out on a base running play, but you get the bloop hit into center field. And at first glance, it looked like the right play for Dexter. But then the play by Amezica just to get that ball back in, he realized that he's going to be out there. And then the bad throw to Gabby Sanchez allowed him to get back to second base. What a break.
Carlos Gonzalez will try to tie it. It is pulled through, base hit. That'll work. And Gonzalez around first. He's heading to second. Cargo coming through. Tied up at 4. What a turn of events.
He gets a break by the bad throw, allowing Dexter to get into second. Then Carlos wastes no time in ripping this ball past Gabby Sanchez. And if it wasn't for the play of Mike Stanton out in right field to keep that ball in front of him, Carlos could end up at 3rd.
What a wild deal. 2 outs, nobody on. A bloop single and a half that gets Dexter to second base. And then Carlos Gonzalez, who's been scuffling a bit at the plate, 0 for 4 to that point in the ball game. And he pulls a double to right. And now Tulowitzki with a base hit could win it.
They're going to put him on.
Yep, they're going to put him on even though it's right on right. And they're going to pitch to Jason Giambi.
Well, you set up the force at any base. That's what you do. And that way, if you have to dive for a ball, you'll still have the short throw.
There are not many times, I'm sure, in Jason Giambi's memory where he can look back and say, yeah, they walked the guy in front of me to get to me. And now Jack McKeon is going to do the unconventional. And he's going to go and bring in Randy Choate. So that's why he did it.
Giambi is 0 for 4 in his career off Choate. So those are the numbers that Jack McKeon's looking at.
Well, you know what? I mean, you want to talk unconventional? Helton's got a lot more at-bats, obviously, than Giambi the last few weeks because Jason's been on the DL and he's 3 for 9 against Choate. You could even up switch.
That's the beauty of baseball. So many things you can analyze and dissect.
Unconventional is intentionally walking the guy in front to get to Giambi as Nunez is hot. And then it would similarly be unconventional pinch hit for Giambi. Crazy, crazy ninth inning. The winning run at second. 2 outs. Veteran left-hander Randy Choate will face Jason Giambi. Giambi getting the start tonight for Todd Helton. He's 1 for 4. He's done most of his damage this year when he's been in a starting role. This is like one of those late game pinch hitting spots that he's also very accustomed to. That's a foul ball. Jason's trying to hold up. Doesn't his bat, it may have hit him.
Yeah. Right off the knob, it looked like.
Pretty good swing there.
Like
that was a slider that kind of sat up.
I'd like to have that one back. Those are the ones that you analyze and you sit there and I had it the whole way and how did I foul it off?
Tommy Runnels, Jim Tracy looking on. Looking for that rare dramatic win. Something the Rockies have not provided many of, unfortunately, in 2011. Crowd of more than 32,000, everybody on their feet. 1 and 2 on Giambi. This ball drilled deep right field over Stanton's head. The Rockies will win it. It's gone. 3-run walk-off home run. The big man. So good to see that. It's been a while.
Well, he didn't miss that pitch.
First walk-off home run for the Rockies this year. Just their third walk-off win. Just their second walk-off win in regulation. Rockies looking for the sweep. They tied it up at the bottom of the 7th inning on a bloop double by Ryan Spilborghs off the bench. And now they'll try to win it. Miguel Olivo will lead things off. And there's a new pitcher out there for Arizona, Sam Demmel. Sam Demmel, who can run his fastball up to about 96. More in a setup role of late. The opposition hitting .289 against him. So Demmel will see Olivo first. Johnny Herrera in a double switch will bat second. Clint Varmus scheduled third. So here we go. Demmel against Olivo, and I was way off on the attendance. 41,504. What a great crowd here at Coors Field. That's in there for a strike. Fastball slider type pitcher, Demmel.
Well, fastball will run it up to 96 miles an hour, 93 to 96. A cutter at 93, averages 89 when he's throwing it.
He goes to short.
He goes to the slider a lot, about 20% of the time. He does throw a changeup, so it's a 4-pitch mix, but really relies on his fastball.
Well, our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast, not exactly the typical Cold Hard Blast you're looking for, but this one worked out just like a 2-run home run into the seats. Stephen Drew couldn't make the catch. Brandon Allen couldn't get there. And it turns into 2 runs for the Rockies when they needed it most. Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Johnny Herrera with his first AB. Hero from last night with a sac fly. And he takes strike 1. Matt Reynolds is throwing for the Rockies in their bullpen. If this goes to a 10th inning. Herrera got the sac fly against Mike Hampton last night from the right side. Here he is from the left side. And Johnny pulls it toward the hole. Johnson could go under his glove. And then he almost didn't go and get the baseball. He thought Parra would get it. Johnny took a turn as if to go to second. Johnson recovered in time to prevent that. So the Rockies get a break there. With 1 out, Herrera reaches Varmus at the plate.
When you're doing that crossover to get to the baseball, you just got to stay down all the way through the crossover. And you do see that he crosses over here. He just doesn't stay down on the baseball, and it gets right to the left of the glove and on by him on the Hyundai cam.
An error on Kelly Johnson. Varmus with his first plate appearance.
Seven errors on Johnson.
And Jonathan Herrera, if you're wondering, I know he's a diminutive guy, but he's not really a base stealer. He's not a flyer. He's got 1 bag this year. If that's running through your mind at home. Fowler's on deck.
Look for more, maybe a hit and run type deal. If you're going to put him in motion.
2-0 on Clinton.
Pretty good discipline for a guy that hasn't had a lot of at-bats. Clint Varmus of late to lay off of that pitch.
And Clinton has just 3 at-bats on the homestand. Eric Young's been playing every day at second base. 2-0. Two and one. Carlos Rosa on the right side, and then Jordan Alberto is the left-hander. Arizona in the outfield has squeezed the gaps a little bit. You see a lot of NL West teams that are more familiar, it seems, George, with Coors Field do this.
Well, they also study what do the Rockies outfielders do. You know, they're playing in here 81 games. Just see how they play defense.
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it would if you're an advanced scout that's paying attention. It would. How defensively do they handle this ballpark?
Herrera started up, shut it down, and the pitch was fouled off, obviously, by Clint Barnes. So it's 2-2. Sam Demmel. Started the year in the A's organization, picked up in June in a trade. And pulled foul.
In the area that Barnes likes, that's that middle half in about belt high. He got one on a slider that hung at 83. Just a little quick get to it. Gray, you will hug the line with Barnes up. You can see the pitches kind of couple in, couple away. They haven't been consistent where they're trying to work it. And that last pitch that was in, he fouled off. You actually wanted that slider away.
Snap, throw, and safe there. No swing at the plate. So it's 3-2 on Barmes. Dexter Fowler waits on deck. Behind him, Carlos Gonzalez. There's one out in the 9th inning. The Rockies need just a single run. Tied at 2. Two outs as Clint goes down swinging. And Fowler's being called back.
Giambi, 94 mile an hour on the Hyundai Cam. This thing was flat, nasty. It's a ball out of the zone. And that's why Clint was upset. He went on a hard sinker down and just didn't big connect on the thing.
So here comes Giambi. Pinch hitting for Dexter Fowler.
Something Giambi would like to change this year is the Oprah he's taken against Arizona. 16 times he's yet to get a hit against this franchise.
Perfect opportunity for number 1.
I like the odds. That'll be in his favor. There's no more left-handed bats left for Mr. Tracy on the bench now.
Herrera, the winning run at first base, 2 outs. Giambi, a home run already on this homestand.
We're looking at the Rockies bench right now, too. Jay Payton will be the guy to go to the outfield if it continues on to the 10th inning. He's fortunate to have a veteran outfielder to be able to put out there in that situation.
Missy Cargo go to center and Payton to left. This ball is driven to center field and deep. Young going back. looking up. Giambi has done it. A two-run walk-off. Jason Giambi. 10 in a row. Prettier sight in baseball than 30 guys hugging at home plate. Rockies down 2-0. They win it 4-2, and they have swept the Arizona Diamondbacks like the Cincinnati Reds before them. Two-run walk-off pitch hit bomb from number 23. Oh, it's fun to be a Rocky now, isn't it? Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Guess what we decided on? He went down and got pitched maybe out of the strike zone. 6th career walk-off home run, 8th career walk-off hit. And the Rockies now have their 3rd longest winning streak in team history. Jason Giambi with 2 outs in the 9th, a 2-run walk-off blast. And the story just gets grander here in Lodo. 10 straight wins, 7-0 on the homestand. Street gets the win. Devil takes the loss. Downstairs we go. Alana Rizzo with the man of the moment.
What another incredible walk-off hit by Jason Giambi and the Colorado Rockies. Jason, I don't know how much of a book you had on Demmel, but just take us through your at-bat.
Well, I was just looking for something I could drive, get it in the gap, and luckily I got a pitch down and I got it up in the air.
You sweep the Padres, you sweep the Reds, you sweep the Diamondbacks. This club has a 10-game hitting streak. Can you feel Rocktober?
I can, definitely. It's incredible. I think it's a mustache.
Whether it's the mustache, Troy Tulowitzki's mullet, or Carlos Gonzalez every time he steps to the plate, this team has something going on that's extremely special. What have you noticed over the last 10 games to make you guys so hot?
Well, we've definitely put ourselves in the spot. We've had a lot of adversity this year. Guys being hurt, we just didn't quit. And with these great fans of Colorado, how can you quit?
No question about it. Finally for you, just how important is it, the run that you guys have been on so far in the last 10 games, but you mentioned it, the will for this team to not quit. This is a very special club in that clubhouse.
Oh, it's unbelievable. That's the reason why I came back, is because these kids are unbelievable. And, we just need to keep playing well. We have San Diego coming in, and, we're giving ourselves a shot.
He says it's the kids that are unbelievable, but it's the veteran Jason Giambi getting the job done. Nice job, Jason. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back in center field. It is loud over here.